And we only see dibs. Hey, anyone notice this? Yes, I love kitties. Big old kitties.
What's up, you big old bitches? I made you wait a whole hour today. Hope you guys are happy in the chat. This was all by design, by the way. Yeah. I was tired of the chat being bitches. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make them wait a whole hour today.
That'll teach them.
That'll teach them to be bitches. Watch the 0 super chats come in. Sorry. I love you. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man. I tell you what, man. It's been a wild ass time. A lot of great guests coming on. And thanks so much to Melonie Mac for coming on the second time.
Yay!
Oh,
thanks so much for having me back.
Yeah, there's only been like 2 repeat guests ever. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about a lot of garbage. A lot of crazy shit's been happening. It's been wild as absolute hell, and I'm real excited to get into it. And also, we got Fight Milk on the dock today, boys. Melonie Mac is one of the only people, women, except for I think Amanda did it. One of the only women to ever do Fight Milk.
I've got the milk in there. I got the eggs. I'm ready for this.
Hell yeah.
All ready to go.
Sounds like a good
Raider
plan.
already's leading the charge. People are
Slack
already. Yeah, they're on it.
Super the goon, but thank you. I appreciate that, dude. It's just the one thing that stuck. And then, of course, Raider. Oh, my God. What a man. What a man. I love you.
Let's go, Raider.
Damn. What a giant penis. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Raider, you goated as hell. Oh, look at this. We haven't even started. Hold on. Let's start the stream a little, Billy, before you start going ham as hell.
Whoa, guys.
Thank you, Billy. Billy Hatcher. He's the man. Time for another wild stream and some ducks. I appreciate you. You goated as hell, Billy. Thank you. We're on our way. And also, everybody on Rumble, I love you. Make sure you hit that like. Rumble's been popping lately. So thank you guys so much for all your love and your kindness. So, dude, I've been watching your content pop up a lot lately. And I saw you made a video about the Aragorn thing, right?
I did today.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so everybody in the chat. So this is what's going on. So it's Magic the Gathering, right? So Magic the Gathering released like an official like Lord of the Rings set, correct?
I guess so. I think.
Yeah, and for some reason, they made Aragorn just like a 1230 black dude from like North Africa. And like, look, nothing against 1230 black dudes from North Africa. You guys are great, but Aragorn is not a 1230 black dude from Africa. He's a white ass dude, and it's Tolkien lore is based off of European countries.
Yep. In
like ancient times, like Renaissance periods shit. You know how many black dudes were in the Renaissance areas? Like -3, because if they saw them, they'd like throw them off a cliff or some shit. So like, yeah, they're not there. So it's really silly. It's very, very silly. And everybody's like, why are you mad, bro? Why are you mad? It's like, because you're taking what I love and you break it in half, and I'm tired of you breaking my stuff. You know?
It just makes no sense too. Like that kind of partnership, you would think the getting the rights to that would cost a lot of money, and then you're gonna make one of the most recognizable characters in all of Lord of the Rings. You're gonna make him completely unrecognizable.
Yeah, dude. Like,
brilliant.
Make one of the stupid little hobbits. But I don't care about them bastards. Make Pippin black. Screw him. He's a dumbass.
I know, right? Pippin can be black. That's fine.
I don't need but Aragorn, dude. Aragorn's like the goat. He's my boy. Like, he's my favorite part of the damn movies. You know, you don't mess with Aragorn. Don't mess with or Aramir or Boromir. And obviously don't mess with, Gandalf. Everybody else, dude,
Galadriel too. Like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
Rings of Power did to her too. It just
that goes without saying. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, like even, dude, I think Frodo's a bitch. I've never
he can be a bit annoying. I've always liked Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's the segue that I was leading into, because Frodo gets to the mountaintop, bro. Passes out like a bitch. Sam carries him on his shoulders like a man. They get to the damn lava pit, the lava of Mount Doom, and then Sam's like, "Throw it in, Frodo," and Frodo's like, "No." And I'm like, ah. And then, like, of course, old Smeagol bites his finger off and falls into the lava. And I'm like, and people are like, yay, Frodo, he's a hero. And I'm like, did I just see something different? Frodo, he was a bitch the whole time. He kept being mean to Sam sometimes when Sam was like, let me help you. And he's like, no, get out of my face. And then he was an asshole to Sam. And then Sam does everything. In the end, Frodo fails. And then, like, Sam just doesn't tell anybody that he felt like a bitch.
I know.
And he's just in bed, just laughing. And then Gandalf's laughing. And everybody's like, oh, laughing. And I'm like, somebody kick his ass because he almost killed all of us. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
God. And then what about the Eagles? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
What about the Eagles? Why didn't they come the whole time? No,
somebody's always gonna talk about the Eagles. What I've heard about this and the retort to that is like even the Eagles would have been tempted by the ring. So
yeah, and also they probably if they would have flew over the walls of Mount Doom, somebody might have clapped them. You know? Mount Doom had already
Nazgul.
Yeah, it had fallen. It had fallen at that point. The big eye was like, ew, bah. You know what I'm saying? Like he was done. So yeah, dude. Thank you, Fox Rider. By the way, Lofty, what a bitch. How you doing, dude?
Lofty,
what a big old bitch. Holy Ozone says, looking patriotic as fuck, Miss Mac. Welcome to the madness. Thank you, Holy Ozone.
Thank you,
dude. I had my first swim of the year. I'll pull that up here in a second because I finally finished my pool and I'm probably done.
Nice.
Because I don't like it. Like every day I'm netting shit and doing stuff and testing chemicals. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a pool guy. I'm gonna pay him like $100 a month and let him just do it because I can't do this. I spend more time doing this pool stuff than I even do floating around in the bitch. Send Melonie some farts on my behalf. You get one. Thank you, Miss.
Okay.
For $1, you only get 2. Samantha just got back from the gym and did 4 miles of 5 increments. Damn, happy stream day. Can't wait to new Indiana Jones. Can't wait to see the new Indiana Jones. Bro, I'm telling you what, if Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I swear to God, if they do the thing where it's like Indiana's like, I'm old and decrepit and a bitch, which he is old and decrepit, so that makes sense. And he's like, you're going to be the new Indiana Jones now. And it's just Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Like a little woman. Look, dude.
I heard some alleged spoilers about the whole plot.
You made a video about it,
good. Yes.
Yeah. So let go ahead and give me the spoilers.
Okay, so basically, it's a time travel type thing, and in the end, he's like, because he's got to face his divorce and all, like, not actual divorce, but like he's basically his wife wants a divorce, and he's like, oh, there's nothing else for me in current day. I need to stay in the past right here in whatever year it was, and so Phoebe Waller-Bridge basically punches him in the face and knocks him out so that she can turn the time into the future. So
who goes to the future?
Both of them. They go back to the future. So he wouldn't do it. So she makes him do it by punching him in the face, knocking him out, and then brings him to the future. And yeah, I guess he worked out his marriage too. So good for him for that.
That's dude. I'm just look, there's nothing wrong with being a woman and being like kind of like badass, kind of like especially if you have superpowers. I was watching Alita Battle Angel the other night for the first time.
Love Alita Battle Angel.
And I was like, you know what? And she's like, obviously she's a cyborg and she's killing that body. And I'm like, this is awesome. I love her. I was like rule 34 in it, like after the fucking
Of course you were. Of course.
There's got to be a CG scene that somebody made that I can just use for a minute. And it was a great movie. And there's nothing wrong with that shit. But when it comes to a based in reality movie, like I want a dude that has like some chest muscles and he's got he preferably a mustache, and sexy. And then when the woman comes in, that's gonna, that's like the damsel, if she even is one. Like I just want her to be in a silk red dress.
Yeah.
And be like, what's up? You are a badass. I know you're a legend, Mr. Indiana Jones. So bend me over. And also, I'm going to betray you later and mentally use my power, because that's what women have. They mentally mess you over. And that's what I would prefer. I want women to take their original role in film, be sexy, and then betray me because you're a spy. But don't kick my ass.
Basically like the Ada Wong. Yeah.
Yeah.
That trope, it's good. Can't go wrong with that.
Don't kick my ass because you can't. You can't kick my ass because I weigh like 140 pounds more than you. It's not going to happen. Like, you can punch me in the face. Dude, I was hanging out with a girl once, and she's a little girl. And, I don't remember if it was a house party. It was a long time ago. It was like 6 years ago. little bitty. I don't remember what her nationality was. She was an Asian girl, and she was like 90 pounds, and she was like punching people, and she's punching me in the shoulder, and I was like, punch me as hard as you can in the shoulder because I was drunk, and she's punching me, and dude, it's like a 9-year-old. I'm like, are you really punching me? And she's like, yeah, and she's like, God, braring back and hit me. And I'm like, dude, if she hit me in the face, I'd be like, huh, that kind of hurt. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I see her swinging on a pole in a movie and kicking dudes that are 240 pounds and they're flying, I'm like, this is stupid. I can't watch this unless if she's a superhero.
Yeah, if there's some sort of element like that, it does help.
She has to be like genetically altered to be like a badass. Otherwise, it's really silly because you ain't packing no damn punch, bro.
Right.
You know? So yeah, if I would have punched that little girl, like if she was like, now do me.
Oh gosh, you could have murdered her.
Yeah, if it was in the shoulder, her shoulder would be dislocated. She'd be like passed out. The ambulance would show up. That's the difference, you know? Like she's just too damn little. Max Wilson, what's up, dude? You're talking about Lord of the Rings. I put the first movie on Saturday and slept through the entire movie. That's why you can't drink and watch them. I've been trying to watch through the Lord of the Rings, and I only watch the extended versions because the other ones feel way too fast paced now for me.
Yeah.
And if I'm drinking, oh my God, it's over. I'll like get to the almost halfway through Fellowship, and I'm like, oh, like drunk. Like that's why I drink Claw, so that don't happen. Nolan with the first orange boy. What's up, baby? How you doing, dude?
Hey,
my man, almost a quarter of the way to 5 milk already. Look at that guy.
All right.
Harrison Ford said, once he's gone, then Indy is gone. There is no Indy without him. And I'm totally cool with that.
I'm good with that too.
Just don't make a National Treasure all-female show.
Oh, gosh.
I ain't gonna watch that bullshit.
I couldn't believe that actually released because then they were like, oh, yeah, they're not going to have a season 2 of this. And I was like, there was a season 1.
Yeah, like, ain't gonna happen. Like, it looked bad too. Looked bad.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah. And you know, women don't give a fuck about that kind of stuff.
Exactly. That's the thing, is it's just like, who is this even for?
Yeah, you know, women like if this was real life, women would be like doing that thing where they overtly compliment each other for no reason because they are actually really competitive, but they do that with like fake nice thing when they first meet. And then that's what they would be doing. And then they would hate each other. It wouldn't be no show where they're like, we need to go steal the Declaration of Independence because they don't care about the Declaration of Independence. We're going to go steal some like Prada bags or some shit. We need to find out what happened to this ancient organization. They don't give a damn, bro. Only weird ass like creepy dudes do that. Like Nicolas Cage.
True.
He's pretty weird.
He is. He's pretty legendary though. He's in Dead by Daylight now.
Dude, I love him. God, he's a great man. I watched Mandy. It was fantastic. And I recommend if you guys ever watch Mandy, take some acid or something right before. Because I kind of want to go back and watch it, and like I've never done acid, but if I were to do it, I've never tried it. I'm kind of afraid of it.
You're suggesting it.
Well, I mean, you could take like a nice edible and turn on Mandy, and it would probably be awesome because it's like one of those weird like long pacing shots showing random images flashing and like Nicolas Cage covered in blood. It's great.
Oh, okay.
I'm really.
I just watched recently the Renfield movie he was in, and it was pretty dumb, but he was great in it.
Yeah, his overacting would work in that. I haven't watched it, but I kind of wanted to. But anyways, speaking of not wanting to watch something or play with something, this dude, I've noticed this dude when he tweets out shit, he's insane. He's a freaking psycho. This David Levitt guy. He's the same. I'm pretty sure he's tweeted that like white people should be genocided before. I'm pretty sure he's done all that.
Wow.
Shit. He's wild as hell, dude. But it says the same racist Nazi people who complained about a black elf in the Rings of Power and Black Mermaid in the new Little Mermaid are now throwing a fit because there's a black Aragorn in the new Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering set. I hate how many racists there are in Portland. And the thing that's really silly to me about this whole situation is his wording in this tweet, right? So look, and by the way, this character design and all this looks badass, but just don't make that Aragorn. That's all you got to do. Like that's a good art. It all looks really cool, but like, why is it Aragorn? It's silly. But he says the same racist people who complain about a black elf in Lord of the Rings of Power, which they didn't. It wasn't about him being black. It was the fact that elves they're from a certain area and they're all the same ethnicity. It doesn't make sense. And then a black mermaid, literally no one cared about her being black. They cared about the fact that she was Ariel. If a lot of even like black people are saying, just like make a movie and make it an original character.
Exactly.
And they already had that. There was a Disney show of the Little Mermaid, and her friend was a black mermaid, and they could have easily explored that, but they just were like, no, we're gonna do this. And it's all to drum up free marketing, free press. That's all it's about.
Yeah. And that's always at like the actor's expense, because then they're surrounded by all this drama. They're the one that has to do all these interviews and stuff, and it's just awkward.
And it's going to hurt their career in the long run.
I don't get with the elves and stuff, and in this case with them race swapping Aragorn and all that. Why do they hate long hair so much? It's like the elf, the race swapped elf, he's got short hair. All the elves, they just cut all their hair off.
Yeah.
And it's like, that doesn't look like an elf. And then with Aragorn, it's just like, it just doesn't. I just feel like there was no attempt, no effort to even make him look like Aragorn at all, even just a black Aragorn. There's just no Aragorn vibe there at all.
Yeah, and what they do is they'll take like the stylistics, like the styles of, let me share it again to get what I'm saying, but they'll take the styles, like facial hairstyles and everything of like a black dude in like 2020 or 2022, and then just apply that to the character. When in actuality, what I think is really nice, and because I don't know if you watched House of Dragon, but there's like a sect of
I did see one episode of it.
There's like a sect of family, and they're all black. Like that's their like race. They're all black, but they, given with the time period and the way obviously fashion and everything is seen, all of them have really long. It's like they have really long hair. Right. Because men had long hair and beards. Yeah. And that's kind of how it was. And they kind of kept to that. So that was the cool thing about House of Dragon is it wasn't jarring. It fit. Everything fit really nicely. Exactly. And they didn't say, like, when one of the guys was mad about not being considered as like his children being married to like the king's daughters and stuff, when he wasn't really being considered for it, he didn't say, they're doing this because I'm black. Or saying, you've always persecuted us because our skin. You know how they would try to throw that shit in there. In a random ass fantasy thing that has nothing to do with racism in America for some reason. You persecuted us for 400 years. It's like, what do you mean? Like at Castle Rock? What are you talking about? It's like, no, it's like, no, I don't know. Because you are slaves in this universe. This doesn't make no damn sense. Anyways, but yeah, it worked in House of Dragon. And I like it's just like they pluck a dude out and then just in Magic the Gathering, and it's silly. At least make him look like ragged, unbathed.
I know he doesn't have that scruffy, like wild man look that Aragorn usually has.
It looks like he goes to the barber often.
I know.
It doesn't make it, I don't know. It's just really, really silly. And I'm sure I'm so surprised there's going to be a second season of Rings of Power. So good luck. That's going to be awful.
Yeah, that is
not going to be watching that. Not going to be watching that at all. Oh God, I almost random click shit. Real quick, let's get this boy. Where? Oh God, I'm lost. Oh God, only woman in this chat could probably take Cody. Is Laura back there, or might just shoot you? Wait, who's Laura? Where? Oh yes, I see it. There's a damn statue back. Yes, dude.
She's tall. This is like a 5'10" statue.
Yes. To be fair, I love Lara Croft. By the way, I love the Tomb Raider games. I have all of them behind me on my PlayStation 1. But to be fair, I train a lot of women at the gym, and they are strong as fuck. So most women don't train upper body. They will a little, but they'll mainly train legs twice a week and glutes, which is great. And the girls I train do that, but they also do a lot of upper body. And every girl that I train, they get to be the strongest girls in the gym when it comes to upper body.
Oh, nice.
Specifically, one girl, she has like complete chest separation all the way down.
And
her shoulders are big, and she's not on gear or anything.
Right.
And she benches over a plate. She did a plate and a 10 like 2 weeks ago, which is easily the strongest girl in my gym by a mile. And there's girls in there on gear, and they aren't even close.
Wow.
And if that's probably much stronger than Lara Croft would be, although she does climb a lot, so she'd have a lot of upper body strength. But If that girl that I train, she's like 5'7", she's a big girl. If she
Right.
punched me in the face, it would just annoy me. You know what I'm saying? If she tried to hold me down, it would just annoy me. But I bench like over 400 pounds, like 4 times that amount. So,
right.
I'll probably kick Lara Croft's ass. I won't be honest.
I mean,
there's a reason, Melonie, that she has 2 guns. All right.
There is, and I will say in like the old games and stuff, she didn't really do a lot of like hand-to-hand combat type stuff anyway. They did have her do a little bit more like in Chronicles and stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yeah, that wasn't even her preferred method of fighting. Like you did see them try to incorporate more of that in the movie and things like that. But hand-to-hand combat wasn't really Lara Croft's thing before it. Yeah. She excelled because she was so acrobatic and fast and great with guns.
Yeah, and think about it this way. I think it's the first Indiana Jones movie, I believe. There's that dude, Middle Eastern dude, and he has this big old freaking schmizmar sword, and he's like, whoo, and he's big and jacked. And then Andy just pulls out his pistol and shoots him and then walks away. That's what it would be like.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd take my shirt off. I'd be, let's do this, Laura. I'm going to kick that ass. And she'd be like, boop. And I'd be like, go. And that's why she has the guns, because you ain't going to be fighting no 210-pound man. Because there's just the
and in the old school games, she always had her weapons taken away from her at one point, and she had to go get them again. And so you'd have to do some segments of the game where she just lost her weapons. And there were times where, like when she was in that situation where, hey, a guy would knock her out, take her weapons off of her, and she'd have to try to be sneaky and try to figure out her way to navigate around that kind of situation. She didn't take on brute force with brute force necessarily.
Yeah, and it's kind of comforting when you're watching a show. I can't remember. I think I did this like a couple weeks ago. I was watching a movie or a show, and there was this girl, and she was like a badass, and she was like fighting, like just trying to fight this dude, and like she catches him a few times, and then he just grabs her and throws her to the ground, and then 2 other dudes just grab her and just like a rag doll, and she just gets taken off to wherever, and I'm just like, this is great. Because that's what would happen. Like, and it's kind of morbid.
It would, exactly.
Kind of morbid to be like, yeah, finally, bitch, you get wrecked. But yeah, I'm like, this is what needs to happen. And even a guy can't do that shit, but it's more believable. It's more believable when you see somebody like John Wick,
right,
killing a bunch of dudes. And it's even more believable because he gets his ass kicked in every movie to where he can barely move.
True.
And the 4th one was hilarious because he was getting his ass kicked left.
I haven't even seen the 4th one yet. I really need to because I loved the other ones.
Dude, it's glorious. It is
nice.
Great movie, and I loved it. So yeah, and there's a good point about John Wick is there's this girl, obviously, and she's one of the assassin peeps. She's been training her whole life. And if she gets into hand-to-hand combat, she's like, that's not her preferred thing. She gets her ass kicked by trained dudes. But she carries her guns around. And that's the whole point. Have the gun. There was a point where, the best scene. She has like 2 swords, man. And she stabs this dude in the ass cheeks. And he's like kicking her ass for like a solid 20 seconds. He's like, boom, boom. And she's like, no, no. And then she like gets him with like a bullet or something. And then just like gets 2 swords and like puts them in his ass. And he's crawling up these stairs.
Sounds amazing.
And she's climbing his back with the sword. She's like, duh, they're like climbing up him.
Dude.
It's great.
That is sick.
But she gets her ass kicked by that dude.
Right.
It's a random mob guy. It's like a trash mob, like a level 5 freaking hog and WoW. That's what was kicking her ass, Whereas if I went out there with my damn level 70, I'm just like, negative 5,000. He's dead. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point. Anyways, Noah Sanders, I'm sorry, dude. I got off on a tangent, baby. He said, did they really do a female national treasure? That's wild. What organization were they looking into? The Freemasons? Also, I heard something about Nick Cage being cast as a Superman soon. Well, he was cast as Superman like tentatively in like the 90s, I think.
I did not know that.
You've never seen the pictures of it?
No.
In a second. So, the female national treasure thing looked awful. It was all over like the front page of whatever app. It was like at the very top every time. Disney, maybe Disney Plus. It was right there. I'd open the shit and it'd be like national treasure, and it's 2 like kind of attractive, like older women, and they're like,
right.
And I'm like, what the hell is this bullshit? They're all like, yeah, look how sexy I am. I did my makeup before we went on the adventure. And I'm like, okay. All right, whatever you say. And that being said, I will say people that say women shouldn't wear makeup to the gym because that blah, 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 they're only wanting one thing. I disagree. Like when I see a chick and she's in her squeezy leggings and her ass be popping and she got her nice sports bra and she got a thin waist and her makeup is on point and she's working out hard. I'm like, dude, damn.
What people don't realize is for women is it's like if we feel cute, it's going to push us even more at the gym. It's going to boost our confidence and that's going to improve our lifts. So yeah, wearing makeup to the gym is valid. I absolutely think that.
Yeah, and like the whole point is like biologically, women want a few eyeballs on them. And now look, and they don't want ugly dudes on them. That's the whole point. When an ugly dude's looking at you, Melonie, let's say you got your ass cheeks out and you got your.
I don't though. I still like to keep it pretty modest. Like
I've seen you.
I will show a little ab, but I don't.
Bro,
I don't wear those leggings that go in the butt crack. I don't. I like to keep some sort of modesty.
No, it don't matter. They don't have to be sucked into the ass crack, bro. I've seen a girl with some normal ass shorts on and her ass be fat in those shorts, and I'm like, bro.
Okay, yeah, just like normal leggings, yeah.
No, they're even leggings, bro. Yeah, your ass is there. So like, that's the point. Is your ass is out. I wear tight pants because my ass is getting fat. So I like my dog to be out, and girls like that. And when they see a sexy dude across the way with his abs and his titties, and they're jiggling, and he just benched 405 pounds, and he has a mustache, and he's looking in your direction, and she got her ass cheeks out, and she looks over and catches him looking. She's like, "Oh, bro, what's up?" But let's say it's like the janitor that works there and he's got his belly out and he's bald and he's like 55. If he's looking at her and she catches him, she's gonna be like, "Oh God, creepy guy."
Right.
Same situation, but she doesn't want to procreate with the creepy guy. That's the whole point. You can't tell me you don't go to the gym and you're like, you see like a dude that looks like Henry Cavill working out and you're like kind of like looking over like trying to you got to do that shit.
It's funny because like when I go to the gym, for some reason, I think because I kind of need to get to know someone's personality a little bit before there's like an attraction. So I don't always notice. There's been like a couple of times that I've noticed a guy at the gym. But usually, I know this sounds like that's not true, but usually I'm just I am focused on my workout.
Oh yeah, and dude, same. But
I'm also very introverted though. I think if I was more extroverted, then yeah, maybe I'd be paying attention more. But I'm so introverted that, hey, I'm there to get my workout in. And I set up like a home gym because I felt uncomfortable with guys approaching me. Not that I think they did anything wrong, but I felt uncomfortable with that. And I've already switched gyms twice.
I agree.
It happened again. And I'm like, I can't switch gyms again. Yeah. I'm just going to work out at home.
I would absolutely never approach a girl at the gym. But that being said, if you look over and there's a Henry Cavill dude and his jawline's huge and you just connect eyes with him and you catch him, you caught him in just one moment in time looking at you, like he cracks a smirk and looks back and that's the end of the interaction forever. That doesn't get your blood pumping a little?
I would probably just be really shy.
you like, oh shit, he's looking at you. Don't think so when I catch a chick looking over my direction and she like looks and like we catch each other's eyes and she like looks down real fast or she like pops a smirk and like looks down or something, I don't approach her. I don't talk to her. I don't even think about it more than a couple minutes. But I'm like,
I think if she actually looked at you and smiled at you though, you could potentially approach her if she gave you eye contact and smiled at you. To me, that's a green light for you.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't really care enough to go do the work. But it gets me like it just makes me feel good about myself. I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'm looking on point today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm on point. That's the only thing I'm saying.
That's true because like. But I think even if when a dude has approached me and I haven't been attracted to him or whatever and not interested, it still at the end of the day, it's like, oh, okay. It gives you a little confidence boost.
Yeah. And so I tell a story every stream and they're probably like, oh, he's telling the story again. But there's this girl at my gym and there's a lot of girls, there's a lot of women at my gym, but it's a meathead gym. It's like a steroid gym, but
right.
There's a lot of girls at my gym and there's this girl, she looks like she's like 20, but she's probably older. Right. And she's pinched waist, like kind of a fat ass. And she just looks ethereal. She looks like a little elf, and she has really not like bright blonde hair.
Right.
Very like cutesy, like pinched face, very small. And I was just shooting my shit. I was on my phone or something, and I catch her in the corner of my eye, and she's just sitting there with a bench, like trying to roll it, and she's looking at me, and I'm like, because I'm in her way, because I'm like standing in the gap, and I'm like, oh shit, and I pop my ear thing out. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in the way, LOL. And she was like, dude, it's okay, and she's like, I love your mustache, and I was like,
and you did not get her digits.
No, I didn't care to. I was just like, oh my god, thank you. Like, so now I'm like, well, I'm never gonna shave this.
I mean, yeah, that. I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you're actually interested in her, she gave you a signal.
Nah, dude. If I started doing stuff with chicks, like I can't. Other stuff would fall to the wayside. Racing, I race every weekend. I got YouTube. I can't mess with.
You're just like no time right now. Okay,
like if she was like, bro, on my way, and I'll leave after 8 minutes, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. But like, you know how girls are. You're one of them. You'll be like, you want to snuggle me and like maybe watch a movie and stuff, and I'm like, bitch, I gotta do stuff.
Well, yeah, I appreciate the fact that you are treating these women like human beings and you're not just trying to use them, because you already know you're in a position in your life where you don't want to date a woman seriously, so you are not going to play with a girl's heart like that, because I mean, yeah, most girls are gonna want.
To be fair, Melonie, when I was on Tinder, that was like the first thing I said.
Right.
I was like, look, I'm going to get right out in front of this. I'm not looking for things. I'm looking for girls to hang out with, drink with, and just like have fun, see where it goes.
Right.
And every time they'd be like, all right, cool. And they'd come over and they'd rip the drawers off immediately without me asking. And then they would be like, a week later, they'd be like, why are you not talking to me anymore? I'm like,
oh no,
I don't know. And they're like, so you just don't like me? And I'm like, no, I told you that I don't like do that kind of thing.
That is sad. It's like, but you didn't do anything wrong in that situation. You made your intentions clear. Yeah. It's just sad that those girls put themselves in that situation though. Cause like if they wanted something more, they should have never even pursued that.
They thought they could change me because
and that's
every girl thinks that they're the girl. They're the main character, right?
It's true. That's what they wanted out of that, and they wanted to be like special enough to where you'd change your mind for her because she was extra special. And what reality is, it just doesn't work like that. Like if you say you're in a place, you're not looking for that. You're not, and they needed to believe it and appreciate the fact that you told them, instead of being one of those dudes who would lie about it and then just
No, that's just how they're like. Once he gets a taste of me, then he'll love me. I'm like, no, you're just all of you is the same. You watch Netflix and you drink wine, and that's like your whole life. And I'm like, bro, I got shit I gotta do now. Got shit I gotta do, dude. At least be into something, dude. I met a girl, and she was super into like homemaking and designing, like interior designing stuff, and not just saying she was into it. Like I would go over to her house and she would be building like this bench and like upholstering all these cushions, and she's like, bro, I got this design I'm working on, it's gonna be cool. And she'd do all this shit and build a whole like and she did it. Like now, like, am I into that? No. Like, am I into the upholstering and the custom? No, but she's into a damn thing that's not sitting there eating damn low fat ice cream and drinking something from Starbucks and just watching like True Blood. I'm like, oh, dude, fuck off. Like, I'm so tired. Look at his abs. I don't care about his abs, damn it. So when you find a girl like that, you got to be all over it. Trad Beardsman, speaking of girls I found that I love, says, where did you find this gorgeous lady? Make sure she has my number. I will DM it to her. I mean, look at his beard, though. Oh, my God. Trad Beardsman. I'm still working on the mustache. I'm trying to catch you. The beard, though, I don't know, man. I kind of like just the mustache. Thank you, Trad. I love you. Second orange boy, Christian Rocker, says, I went to Game South a few weeks ago to see you, and you weren't there. Rude sir. Love you, Melonie. Big fan. I'm sorry, dude. That day was like the worst day of my life. Oh. And I talked to the people that organized it, and I apologize profusely because I was supposed to be there. And dude, it was like 2 p.m. and I was knee deep in pulling an engine out of my car, and I was hungover, and it was like the only day of the month my dad could help me pull my engine out of the car. And nothing worked out. And I was like, dude, we got to get this done. So I go over to Game South, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. And we got done at like 6. And I was like, man, and it was already over. And I'm like, man, this is bullshit. Thank you, Christian Rocker. Tristan, your boy won today. Thank God. Ryan Blaney's a beast. And I've always kind of been annoyed that he doesn't show any emotion when he wins. Because
wins what? Who is this?
he won the Coke 600 NASCAR race today.
Oh, NASCAR stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And he, I'm always complaining that drivers don't show emotion because they've been doing it their whole life. If I won a race, if I was in an ARCA race and I won at like Atlanta or Daytona, dude, I get out of the car and be like, because I come from a different area of life. But he got out of the car and he was like in tears and shit. And he was like, I just thought, he said something like, he's like, sometimes you don't win for a long time. And it's been like almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you don't win for a long time and you starts to feel like maybe you're never going to, or you're not good enough. And then he starts choking up and then tears start coming. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. So, I felt pretty good about it. And I was like, man, I'm love this motherfucker. Thank you. I've met him several times. He's super nice. But unfortunately my freaking roommate met him and impressed him way better.
Oh,
I'll show you a picture here in a second. Thank you, Tristan. I love you. Appreciate you. You're goated. God, there's so. Why do you gotta make? Why you got? I'm not saying your name today, boy. He says work is done. Now I can watch the best show on YouTube. Well, thank you. Make sure you share it, you bitch. Thank you so much. In my prime, it was B165, S 225, Dead's 315. You only bench 165, Casey? Bro, we got to pump them numbers up. You need to come train with me, Casey. We'll get you up to that 285 easy. Thank you, dude. That's good numbers though. Medieval Syphilis says, what are the best carnivore snack brands? I'm stationed in Seattle, so sadly it's mostly vegan alternatives here.
The best flavors are the beef brisket. That is the absolute best one, but I also really like the chicken flavor. The chicken one, it's like potato chips almost. Great. But the beef brisket is amazing. Melt in your mouth, the fatty pieces on it. So good.
Oh my God. I love, dude. Speaking of brisket, I love pulled pork. And
nice.
Every time I'm driving to a race, I will go 30 minutes out of the way to go to a Buc-ee's to get their pulled pork sandwich.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dude, it like makes my balls tingle thinking about it. It's so fucking good. I can't believe a chain like Buc-ee's can have.
I didn't even realize that. I have never eaten anything from Buc-ee's. I need to try that. I mean, I'm in Texas. What the crap?
They're so good, man. Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, speaking of something so good, Raider. Oh my God! Thank you, my friend. Says prepping Melonie for when she starts streaming. Oh wait, I said too much. Back to my regular schedule. Emote.
Yes, streams coming back here within the next couple weeks or so, sometime in June. I'm waiting for that fiber line to get installed.
Dude, fiber's goated. I love fiber. Like, dude, I switched over to fiber and I have not had a problem since. It's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you, Raider. I appreciate you. Are you gonna do like a show type thing where you bring people on? That'd be fun.
I really should do something like that. I've been thinking about it. I'm just not exactly sure how I'd go about it. Also, I'm so introverted that it's like, could I host it? Like, could I host something like that involves people and having a guest every week? I could try.
Dude, I got lucky. I started the show not thinking anybody would ever come on. And then like everybody I asked, come on. They just come on. I'm like, I asked Pippa. She came on. I asked Donut Operator. I just messaged him.
Oh, you got Donut on here?
Yeah, he was like episode 13. And
awesome.
I just messaged him. I'm like, bruh, I'm from Alabama. My name's Cody. You should come on my show. And he was like, your name's Cody? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I grew up in Florence. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'll come on your show. And I'm like, what the fuck? So
nice.
It worked out. Melonie looking good in Camelot. Sexy as shit. Thank you, Matter Circle. I appreciate it. Finally, compliment. A 200-watt studio says, Melonie, the carnivore, is mean and animal. But what about a baked potato? I do like baked potatoes.
I had my carnivore baked potato alternative I posted on Twitter today. I just took boiled eggs and mashed them up with some melted butter in there, put on some sour cream, some shredded cheese, and it was basically kind of sort of like a loaded baked potato. I was happy with it. Yeah.
Man, I'll take potatoes and I'll put like sea salt and just cover them in sea salt, and then I'll air fry, or I'll not air fry them. That's if I'm in a hurry, but I'll bake them like on low for like 2 hours, and they come out and they are super crunchy.
Wow.
But the middle is squish.
That sounds amazing.
It literally tastes like a fat ass French fry, but it's like a size of your head. It's awesome. So I like eat it. I just cut it. I cut pieces off of it with the skin, and I just like dip it and just eat it and cut. Oh, dude, it's freaking awesome. Speaking of something freaking awesome, Chad Sharp with the first red boy of the stream.
Oh,
Oh my God. Guy's a maniac. Can you imagine being as badass as Chad Sharp? Thank you so much, dude. He says the CAMELCAST stream needs to have more often. Also love the shirt, Melonie.
Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I was fucking talking about that earlier. I need to bring that up. I was going to show you my first swim thing of the year. Thank you, Chad Sharp. I love you. Appreciate you. And Cash says, are you going to make it to Dallas next weekend? What's in Dallas?
There's that fan expo thing going on. That will be on the 9th through the 11th. But I believe on the 8th is the I think they're doing like a Friday Night Tights type meetup thing.
Oh man, I kind of want to go to that, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I want to do things, but I also feel like I just feel awkward, man. I still don't feel like I belong anywhere in this realm. So it's kind of weird to me. That's
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, yes, I've explained that before. But the only I love hanging out with Nick Ricada.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else, I'm just like, should I be here right now? I don't know.
Yes, you belong.
I belong finally. Alan Reese says, buy a gym shirt that says, I'm exercising, so leave me alone, or start deepening your voice and use. Could you imagine tiny little girls?
I should just put some rolled up socks in the front of my leggings. And then wear a trans pride shirt.
Bam. Trans pride. Brought some ribeyes at Sam's Club. $8 per pack. Jesus. It's amazing, dude. Anyways, let me pull up this. I've been wanting to pull this up now. I think it's on Twitter because my Instagram story definitely is expired by now. And I have to scroll back 100 years because I just tweet too damn much. What is wrong with me? You think I remember when I first got on Twitter, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to use this very, I'm not going to, I don't think I can tweet very often, so I'll never grow. And I just don't think I can do any of this, and now I just tweet 100 times a day. And I'm like, how did I start tweeting this? I just start tweeting every day. Just can't stop.
Well, and it's since we have so many friends in this circle now, it's just oh, what are my friends tweeting about today?
Yep, exactly. So this is my attire for my
my
first swim of the year. It's just I got a complete American flag. Complete American flag deal. I got my boys. You see my boys, my husky, my German Shepherd right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Rob. There's Rob's there too. One of my mods was hanging out. This is a lot of fun.
So you have a local mod that you?
No. He drove down here.
Oh wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, we had so much fun. We drank every day. It's all me and Rob played Mario Party and drank all night, every night. It was great.
That's rad.
I loved it. But anyways, speaking of loving stuff, talking about the gym, man. So how do you go to, you said, do you only do home gym now?
I do now. Yeah. As of, I don't know, past couple months, 2 or 3 months, I quit actually going to the gym because I was like, I'm not switching gyms again.
Was it a specific person or just random people?
Well, this time it was what made me uncomfortable this last time, because it's happened before and it's just been oh, whatever, maybe switch times that I go to the gym a little bit, don't have to see the dude again. It's not awkward or weird. But the last time was a dude who he also knew of my content, and so it made it even more awkward because I was like, oh man, I don't want this to keep happening where guys who, he didn't do anything wrong. I don't want anybody to think that I think he did anything wrong, but just for me, it just made me a little uncomfortable because I wasn't into him, and then I just felt bad, and he wasn't taking no for an answer very well, and it after that I was like, man, I really just need to start working out at home because I don't want to keep switching gyms all the time. It was just uncomfortable. So
yeah. So that's the one thing is if I was a woman, I'd be so good at these situations because I don't really care. So if a guy was coming, I saw him coming towards me, and it was the same guy. I'm like, motherfucker. I'd be I'd pop my earbud out and be like, you go away. Don't talk to me today, motherfucker. Okay. And I'm like, all right. I would just immediately fuck off, motherfucker. Don't do this.
I wish I could be like that sometimes because sometimes I need to.
It would be jokey, but I would be
I know.
Hey, motherfucker, you go somewhere. I'm doing things. I'm talking to your ass. Not true. Look, if you want to have a chance with me, don't talk to me ever again. He'll be like, oh shit, that's what I'll do. I just won't talk to you ever again. And he's like, yeah, perfect. You good. We're good. And then he'll think he has a chance. But then
He's like, oh, I'm doing such a good job at this. She's gonna
Yeah.
reach out to me anytime now.
like when you tell a kid to go do a menial task, you know, like my maid's been staying with me for like a week because she's in between moving and getting approved for her new house, and she has a little daughter, goofy little girl. And I'll be like, yeah, you should go upstairs and find my hat that says this on it, and she'll be like, okay, and she'll just go up there for like 30 minutes, and I'll say, and then because it's like on the top shelf, like,
Right.
and she'll come back finally. She's like, I can't find it. And I'm like, oh yeah, well don't worry about it. Go do that. Just go do your thing. It's very, very important. Slavabaga says, my father's side are Slavs, Polish, Russian. On mom's side, I'm a Southerner. 3 Confederates, including R.E. Lee, Chief of Staff. What about you? What about me? You talking about me? Dude, I don't know. My mom and dad are from California and Illinois. So I don't really know what the hell I is. My dad's not a Southern man. My mom's not really Southern either. But
really?
Yeah. And my grandma grew up here.
Okay.
And her parents were Native American. One of them was like full Native American, and then her dad was like a white dude. And then she exists, and then she had a bunch of kids. And my mom's super white, and my dad's super white. And my grandma came over from Ireland. Yeah, Ireland when she was like 6. So I don't know.
Okay.
And I don't
Irish and Native. That's my background.
Yeah, and people think,
that's a lot of Southern people's background. What they don't realize.
And people are like, aren't you interested? I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's like, what difference does it make?
Yeah, that's kind of like how I see things, and like I'm like, it doesn't really change anything. Like, what am I going to be like? Oh, look, I'm going to go to. I found out I'm a little bit German, so I'm going to travel to Germany and be like, I'm German, and like I'm going to eat this bratwurst because I think I would like this. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I've just never. It's one of those things I've never been interested in. Just never really understood it. But I know some people are. Revenge says, can't stay long since I got to get up early in the morning, but here's a 5 for you, and y'all make the sweet Melody Mac feel at home. Thank you, Revenge. I love you. Mitchell Fields, I've been to over 600 gyms in my life, plus 70 a year. There are married people gyms and single gyms. Find a married or old people gym. There's a married gym?
I actually wish they had just like a female only gym. I know they used to do that, and it's like, I really wish that was a thing right now. An actual female only, like you can't have any males in costume there either. Only females. I would go to a female only gym. It would be great. I feel like that would solve so many issues, because a lot of, the social media stuff going on with these girls who are taking video of themselves doing squats, like the camera up their butt, and then a guy happens to look over in the general direction and they call him a perv and all that. And it's like, this just fixes everything. It fixes it all. You don't have to worry about, the guys don't have to worry about being accused of something that they didn't do. And the girls that just want to go in there and get a workout in, and we could do that.
And look, if they were like, women are no longer going to my gym anymore, I don't know how I'd feel, because
really,
I just love being around women. I don't even talk to them. I never talk. The last time I talked to a girl in gym, oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than like when that chick like walked by me about a mustache thing, I said, "Oh, thank you." That was basically it.
Yeah.
But I've not talked to a girl in such a long time at the gym, but I love just women being there and working out. And I see an ass cheek every once in a while. I like that, because that's kind of like why I'm there. Like, I'm there because, I'm trying to benefit myself, but also because like I want women to acknowledge that I'm working real hard on myself. Whereas, dude, almost all my friends are just like dudes that are just fat and pudgy and don't care about nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm working harder than you. You know what I'm saying? Show me love.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a weird time where it was like 2019, maybe. I think it was 2018 or 2019. I was like at the gym, and it was like a Sunday. And there was like 5 girls at the gym. They're all working out, and I was working out, and I looked around the gym, and I was like, oh, because I had hooked up with all of the girls at the gym. At the gym that day, I've hooked that up with all of them at some point.
Right.
I was like, ooh, this is weird. But it didn't bother me, but it was just kind of a funny revelation. I was like, oh, damn, so I don't talk to I just don't talk to girls at the gym anymore. And I never really did. It was like, I met them like they like, I don't know, we talked in passing once, like maybe at the water fountain or something, and then they added me on Instagram. It wasn't like I walked up to them and provokingly talked, because I'm not brave enough for that, and also I don't want to.
Right.
So I'm just trying to lift heavy stuff. Alan Alex says, bro was so unattractive that Melonie switched gyms. I'm dead. he was balding, wasn't he?
No, and he wasn't even unattractive. I just didn't, I don't know. It's just weird. I also don't like meeting complete strangers of then like, hey, I don't know you. Let's go on a date. It's like I don't know. I don't know. Like I grew up homeschooled and stuff, and I'm very introverted. So I don't know if that's a byproduct of that, but the whole concept of just going out on a date with a guy I don't even know, it's just awkward to me.
Well, how would you go on a date with him if you didn't know him?
Well, if you're like, if you're able to get to know them first, like if they're in the same friend circle or something like that, I think that's just easier. Like when I look at my past relationship experience, that's how it happened. Was either I'd get in a relationship with a guy that I worked with, or it would be a guy that that I met online, like in a video game. That's happened. So, but it's just the whole I've tried the online dating, and it's just very awkward. I just can't. It's just weird to me, just trying to go on a date with a guy I don't even know at all.
Yeah, I get that. MGTOWN podcast Drex says nice stash. Thank you, baby. I love you. That means a lot coming from you, by the way. Thank you so much. This is a good thing to bring up. John says, just say you want to go to a gym where ugly people can't stare at you, work out at home. If you can't handle people looking at you because you're hot, that's a you problem. Do you think...
I agree. That's why we're going home now. Yeah. I mean, but not that I think I'm like, I'm not saying that.
Well, do you think it's wrong for dudes to stare at your ass cheeks? Let me rephrase that, because that's stupid. Do you think it's wrong for a dude to catch a glance at your ass cheeks?
Not necessarily, because I mean, it depends. I think it's weird if a guy is intentionally focusing,
like staring.
Yeah, I think that's a little weird. But if you just notice, like in passing, that's normal. But I would be uncomfortable if I noticed a dude was checking me out like that. Yeah, I would.
Okay, I'm trying to find out like where the line is, because I'll look at an ass, bro.
I mean, I think for like in your situation, I think for you it's probably just going to depend on the girl. A girl who is wearing like those leggings with up the butt crack and just very provocatively dressed compared to like, you know, most girls there, she's probably going to be fine with it.
That's the thing, is like, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of girls wear like normal ass flowing gym shorts, but their ass is still fat in them and like looks good, and I'm still looking, bro. So I don't know how to feel. I just want to look at an ass cheek, and there's no like ill will,
right?
You know? Like I'm just admiring. What do they call it? Admiring. I'm admiring that ass. Doing good jobs. Your kickbacks are on point, you know. And sometimes, dude. Sometimes I have no interest, you know.
Right.
Like there's this one girl at my gym, and she's stacked, bro. Mm-hmm. And she got a tight waist. She's stacked. She got a big ol' ass, and it's like it looks like abnormally like shooty outy. Really? It's like, how the hell did you do this? How'd you? I guess she has like my chest genetics, but in her ass.
Okay.
She looks like Shrek.
Oh,
in the face, right? So like, and I'm a face dude.
Shrek with some cake.
Yeah, dude, she got an dude, and her body. If you ripped her face off and put like your face on it, she'd be it'd rule the world. But like, she had a Shrek face,
right?
So there was absolutely no way in hell. Like, granted, I'd hit it from behind for sure, but I don't have an interest there. Like, so she immediately is off my radar. But I will be benching. I'll be bench pressing, and she'll walk by with her turd cutters the size of freaking Mount Everest, and I'm like, I like want to walk up and be like, dude, your ass is like freaking wild. You are doing such a great job, bro. And then walk away.
Right.
With no intent. I don't have any intention. I just wanted her to know. I'm like, dude, you are kicking ass with those ass cheeks, bro. They are freaking crazy. But I'm like, what would she do? That's why I'm kind of like asking you, like, Like if I came up to you and you obviously are doing kickbacks, let's say
Right.
your ass is just huge and you're just kickbacking every day. You're doing hip thrusts out the damn RDLs to the damn walls, son, and you're just rocking some ass cheeks that are out of this world. Would you, if a dude was walked up and be like, dude, your ass is on point, you're doing a great job, and then just walks away and never talks to you again? Like, how would you feel?
I would not like that.
Damn. See, that's why I haven't done it yet.
Now, that's me. But some girls would love it. So this is just a person to person.
Yeah, but you don't know that. You don't
exactly.
like.
I would personally advise not doing that. Now, if you want to compliment her and say like, "Man, I've been seeing you at the gym lately, and you're just kicking butt. You're doing an amazing job, and I just want to cheer you on, like encourage you. Good job, like you're killing it." If you say something more broad like that, but if you're just gonna specifically focus on her butt,
that's her ass. Like,
I mean,
it's the thing.
I'm just saying.
If you saw this, you'd understand. Like if you saw this shit, you'd be like, "Oh my god."
I mean, yeah, I don't blame you for noticing, but if you're going to talk to her about that specifically, there's a chance she may be very uncomfortable.
Dude, I'm just really I'm like really straightforward and honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, dude, your ass cheeks, you're killing it, bro. You're doing a great job. RDLs, man. Like, it's an amazing job. I had this girl, I was training this girl last week, and we were doing some bench press. Mm-hmm. And like that girl walked by, and that girl I was training was like, dude, you see her ass? Holy shit. And I'm like, dude, yeah, it's freaking crazy. Her ass is crazy. Even she knew. Everybody knows.
Oh, the girls we notice, like we notice if another girl's like looks good and she's doing great, and we'll encourage each other.
This chick, Mermaid Messiah, looks kind of like Chrissy Mare. If Chrissy Mare was like a little bit hotter,
Chrissy's very hot.
I would balls deep, Chris. I'm just saying if she's a little bit hotter, because everybody can improve. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she ain't. I'm saying like if she was even hotter, that's what I'm saying. All right. Butterface is someone who has a great bob but doesn't match the face. Yeah, I used to hook up with this one chick she was like I think she held the state record for deadlift in her class, her weight class. She had like an 8-pack, and her legs were like tree trunks, and she was like 5'2", little bitty girl.
Oh my!
But her face was, ew! It looked like a bird, and of course she had glasses.
Oh,
because like bird girls always have glasses.
Yeah,
which makes it way worse when the bird girls have the glasses sitting right there on their freaking, just like like they just got this like beak, and they just have glasses sitting right on top of it. I'm like, oh, it's awful. You need to get that bitch cut off and put a new one on. No, dude, I used to hang out with the girl, and she had one of them beaks, like just beak ass nose, and she went and got a nose job. And like I hadn't seen her in a while, and she like came up, and I cannot believe the difference that shit made. All she did was get a nose job, and then she had like a tiny pinch cute face, and she's like, ooh, and I'm like, what the fuck? How did you do this? And it was like it completely changed all of it. I can't believe it had that much of an effect.
Wow,
crazy, dude. Got her beak ripped right off. Crazy, dude. They're like, yeah, I don't want this beak. Can you get rid of this? By the way, we're halfway to Fight Milk.
Let's go.
Let me catch up on these goofy super chats. God, hold on. Where are we at? Can't stay long. Bro, so unattractive. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Casey, I'd love to train with you. I'm in NC. Well, I go to NC. I'll be in North Carolina probably this weekend for a race at Sophia. Not Watch says Melonie, Chrissy, and Anna would fix you up with Carmen Stutter's son. They were joking about you two hooking up, even though you're Christian. Wait, hold on. Melonie, Christian, and Anna want to fix you up. Melonie. I thought you were talking about me. Chrissy and Anna want to fix you up with Carmen Stutter's son. Okay.
Like they're trying to fix you up with her son.
Yeah, Carmen Stutter conductor? She's like an old dead conductor. Hold on, no, film producer. She's apparently a blonde film producer. I don't really know.
Carmen, she was on Simcast. I've been on Simcast with her before. She's cool.
Dude, speaking of Simcast, that's the same Carmen Stutter right there. Simcast, speaking of Simcast, I need a porn star on my show, and I need her to be on episode 69.
Like, speaking of Simcast. Now, are you looking for an actual, or does the OnlyFans girl count?
No. I think she needs to be a real porn star.
Okay, I don't know any actual porn stars.
I've had OnlyFans girls on.
Okay.
Already. But I need a porn star for 69.
Ask Chrissy. She'll know somebody.
Oh, I'm gonna look great. Have you thought of face reduction? Have you thought of face reduction? Oh my god. I much rather work out at home. I can blast music, stand in front of the AC when I get too hot, shower. Don't like touching gym stuff that's not mine, Adam. I'm the complete opposite. I would probably never work out again if I had to work out at home. Because I love the environment. I love walking into the warehouse environment.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a breeze. There's big ass fans. The music is bumping with a reverb behind it from off in the distance. There's people. There's camaraderie. I love the atmosphere. And like when I throw up 405 and it clangs on the damn thing, and there's a dude clapping over there, and everybody's like cheering. It is great. I love it. Love that shit. I'm a little bit vain and narcissistic. If you haven't gathered, come on.
You're just very extroverted. That's like an extrovert's. You thrive off of other people, and it gives you energy. So I get it.
I just like it, man. I just really like it. Speaking of liking shit, we are I can't do the math. 250 likes away from goal, and almost halfway to Fight Milk. Sorry, almost halfway to Fight Milk. Get the hell on it, doggone it. Big shout out to the red boy of the night. His name is Chad Sharp. Appreciate it. And Raider, of course, with a bunch of pink boys that love you, and Billy Hatcher. These people are so goated today. So, what do you have coming up? Because I know you kind of changed locations. What do you have coming up in the future?
Coming up in the future, I got my streams coming back soon. Once I get that fiber situation figured out. And I'm actually going to try to stream on Kick instead of, so I don't know. I've just been seeing some people just thriving on there, and some of my friends use it. And plus I like the revenue split a lot better than Twitch. So I'm going to try that. Still going to be doing my, usual Go Boom videos. And then for that Dallas Fan Expo coming up, I will be there for that as well. So
damn, I have to come now. Fuck. I have to come so we can work out together.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great time. There's gonna be a ton of cool people there that's in our circle, and it's gonna be great.
We'll go to the gym together.
There we go.
Together. And then I'm gonna purposefully look at you and catch you. It must be hilarious. Are you looking at my ass? Be like, yes. It'd be hilarious.
Then I'll punch you and actually knock you out. And then you'll be like, whoa, first time a girl actually.
Hey, hold on. This is
actually kick my butt.
Chaos says I'd be nervous meeting Mac in real life. I would not.
Nobody should be nervous meeting me in real life. I'm telling you. I have been at gaming conventions and stuff where people have asked for a selfie and stuff, and they've been a little nervous. Like I could see their hand shaking a little bit with the camera, and I'm just thinking, why are they so nervous with me? I am just a retard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people have done that to me, and I'm like, dude, I am way less significant than you probably are. Don't worry about me.
That's the thing. Is it's like maybe I should be the one nervous meeting people.
Yeah,
y'all are nervous to meet me.
They said it once. They were like, I'm really nervous, and I'm like, dude, trust me, I'm way more nervous than you are. And then he's like, Nina says, Melonie. What's up, Nina?
I love you, Nina.
Azels Davila. You changed, dude, bro. You can't just change your profile picture on my ass like that. You've had the Spider-Man sombrero guy for like years. I think he had a sombrero. Clefon travels with a orange boy. What's up, dude? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, dude. How you doing, baby? Clefon coming in strong with that orange boy. It's happening, boys. Hercules. Mac, thoughts the Spider-Man 2 gameplay demo?
I didn't even watch it because I wasn't even into the other Spider-Man game. I feel like it's so overrated. I tried the Miles Morales one as well, and it's like, okay, it was fun for a bit, but then it's just I don't know. I feel like they are so overrated. I don't get the hype.
Yeah. I don't I never played
like,
the PlayStation 4 game.
I need your help with this. I need you to do this. Someone on comms tells you, I need you to do this. Okay, let me go here, do this mission. Okay. Oh, by the way, on the way, I need you to, and it's just so, I don't know. It just feels so like almost Ubisoft game. Just everything is here. Everything is so scripted. Everything is so, especially the Miles Morales one, having that like QTE in the mall or whatever. And I'm just, it feels like an interactive movie almost. I don't want that. I want a video game that's like a video game. I'm thinking old school games, So a lot of the newer stuff, it depends on the game, but I just can't really get into them.
Yeah, I'm not I've not played the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. when it came out. And due to all my friends said it was legit, and I just never played it. And it seems to me that I only end up playing like From Software games now, like Elden Ring and Bloodborne and stuff. I can't really.
So good.
I don't find myself playing anything else, and it's frustrating because I really need to. I really need to do it. I really need to play some games, but I'm just bad at life, and I just can't do it. I've been wanting to play games lately. I played what I play. I played Left 4 Dead, but Wicked Virtue the other night, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I just don't play games as much as I should. So that's my life, I guess. Now, Johan, tonight, I prefer a male-only gym. Have no time for distractions, peacocking, or preening. Women would destroy my zen. I only know words like ball and good.
See, I think that's pretty base, though. They actually do need male-only gyms. I don't know. I mean, they get a lot of backlash for that, but that does need to actually be a thing because there's plenty of guys who don't want to just look at girls. There's like married men, stuff like that, or even guys who aren't. They just don't want to go to the gym for that.
I vehemently disagree. No, you said
there should be an option, right?
You said something so wrong just now that it shakes my foundations of my life. You said married men don't want to look at other women, bro. That is the only thing they want to do.
Dude, it depends. Like, not in the Christian circles. At least they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to. You can't change the lustful mind. Like
you can. It's self-discipline. Like, you can't necessarily inherently change it, but you can change what you dwell on and what you focus on. The whole concept of like Christianity is that you are fighting spirit versus flesh, because the fleshly desires are going to be real, whether it be with lust, whether it be with whatever. And there's all kinds of different sin that different people are going to struggle with. And the point of like being a practicing Christian, for example, is it's like going to the gym. It's like lifting a weight. You're teaching yourself discipline. You're teaching yourself how to control your flesh and your own desires. And it's more of like, focus more on the spirit.
Okay.
And so there is a way to do that. And I think that the more, just like going to the gym, the stronger you're going to get. So the more that a guy practices self-control, the more he's going to be able to, if he went to a gym and some girl with the big booty and the butt crack in the leggings and all that, to where he could just easily not focus on her because he's already so disciplined and mentally and spiritually strong that he can overcome maybe that initial. So that's the concept of like, when you're a Christian. So I'm not saying that it's going to be, that's some easy thing and every guy can. I'm obviously not a guy, but I'm just saying.
Look, so you saying it's a sin for me to look at an ass cheek?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's a sin to lust. So if you just initially notice and then like, but if you are to keep looking and keep like letting your imagination go into that lustful state, and you consciously actively were lusting, then that would be a sin.
Okay, so I don't imagine their ass cheeks on my face, and I don't imagine them naked or me trying to smash some pissers. What I just look at an ass and I'm like, I'm just like, that's a great, and I keep looking over at the ass. I'm like, damn, I'm admiring. I'm not saying I want to slap it, although I would. I'm not saying I'm that's
well, I mean, and maybe you're not, if it's not like a lust thing for you in that kind of situation, maybe it wouldn't. That in that kind of case, I think it would be. I mean, that would just be between you and God. I can't tell what you're thinking and what you're exactly how it is.
Especially married men, especially because let's say you're monogamous and you never cheat and you are got that covered. Right. So that's like my first marriage. Like you got my only marriage. You got that covered. Right. So that was me. But like if an ass cheek goes by, I'm looking at the ass cheek. So that's just what I'm saying right there. But 71% of men admit to cheating.
Right.
So what I'm saying is married men, they I feel like more than anybody that they're going to look at the ass cheek. And the reason I say that is because, they want to see something that's kind of different. It's kind of like, what if I played Elden Ring for 10 years and that was the only game I was allowed to play for 10 years. If I saw a game trailer, I'm like, fuck, pull that up. I want to see this game trailer. I'm not allowed to play it, but I want to see this game trailer real quick, and that's kind of like, because, it's like what my dad told me when I was growing up. You show me a gorgeous woman and I'll show you a guy that's tired of having sex with her. You know
I
what I'm saying?
think that can that may be true for a ton of guys, but I do think that there's some guys that that's not true for. That they really do only have eyes for their wife, and that's who they're just madly in love with, and they can't even imagine anyone else in that kind of situation.
Agreed.
I
No,
think they definitely do exist. So,
that was
but
me. That was me, Melanie. That's what I'm
right,
saying is, dude, I would have, dude, I was like, I was ready to die with this woman. I loved her. She's the greatest thing ever. You know,
right.
we were having a great time. I would never even consider doing anything. I was at a strip club with a stripper trying to smash my pisser, and I left that bitch and went and sat on the curb, and she was hot as hell. So
Right.
I've been there and I understand it, but like if I'm at the gym, there's a girl in some leggings and she is looking just ooh. I'm like, damn, bro, what's up? And I would never do anything.
Right.
I'm looking at some ass cheeks right now. And I was the guy. I was not part of that 71% at all. I was not there. You know, I was like the tiny percentage of that was not doing it. Then you have, oh man, I tell you what, politicians. So I always focus on politicians.
Mhm.
But you know how they're, especially in the South, they are like, Jesus, the blood of Christ washes over. That's how they like, you know, that's how
Right.
they campaign doing that, because that means a lot in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
And they are always outed for having like multiple mistresses and
A lot
like,
of them.
fucked up shit like that.
Mhm.
You know? And it falls into that 71%. And I feel like it's better to look than to not act on it. And when I was on Tinder, which I haven't been on Tinder in years, man. But when I was on Tinder, dude, almost every other girl, more than that, would show up and they had a boyfriend or husband.
Mhm. I mean,
No,
that is so common.
it's
That
crazy.
is so common. That was one reason why I like even stopped even trying online dating in general, because I found out later that one guy I went on a date with was married, and I obviously had no idea. And nothing even happened there. But I did find out later that he was married and told his wife and all that. It was a very sad scenario.
Yeah, dude.
But there are so many people who cheat on dating
Yeah.
apps in general, guys and girls. There's a ton of them. And even like what you were saying with the Bible Belt thing, and like how some people will say and preach one thing, but then act another, that is super real. There's a lot of hypocrisy that does go on even in the Christian community. But to that, and what I would say to other Christians in general, and I think a big, huge part of that is a lot of people will, they'll say, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, and they want to have the title of Christian, but are they actually practicing it? Are they reading their Bible every single day? All that kind of stuff. And I just have a hard time believing that someone who is actually reading their Bible every single day, actually reading at least a chapter a day, would, I mean, obviously everyone can stumble and mess up to some degree, but I just have a hard time believing that a lot of these guys or even girls or whatever who end up cheating or end up having all these things, I have a hard time believing that they were actually in their Bible every single day, because I can't even imagine overcoming the conviction. And as someone who's a Christian, someone who's not is not even going to understand this. They're not going to get it. But the Bible is like alive. When you read it, you just feel it in your spirit. And I know with my own life, since I've committed to reading the Bible every single day, like my faith grew so much more in general. And so it does give you a lot more conviction. You are more in tune with your spirit versus your flesh. So I definitely think that a lot of the hypocrisy that happens with a lot of these people, I don't think that they really are practicing. I don't really think that they're practicing Christianity as much as they protest.
I agree. So
Yeah.
I agree with that. So let me pose a question here though. So because I feel like if a sexy man looking in your direction might make you uncomfortable, would being in, so let's say you're married, if you become you're a devout Christian, your husband's a devout Christian,
Right.
but your married life is just degenerate. So, and what I mean by that is, like, you're cooking some dinner, you're married, right? You're cooking dinner and you guys are following the rules, and he just walks by and he slaps your ass. And then like later on, he's like, and it's just degenerate. Like he just it's so sexually active towards you, but you're his wife.
I feel like with husband and wife, that's how it's supposed to be. They should want to be all over each other all the time.
Yeah. So, but like, I feel like if in some shape or form, naturally, it makes you uncomfortable in other situations, I feel like if something got really degenerate in a married life, that it would some act would make you like uncomfortable, right? Like, you know, like somebody eating your booty or something, right? That's degenerate. So like, you know, but you're like, oh, it's fine. It's different now. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Like that's how I would feel. If something makes you uncomfortable here, it would have to make you uncomfortable in here.
Oh,
you
so
know?
you mean like, are there going to be different boundaries within marriage that, like, are the boundaries or things that you may, I don't know. I think I get you, but
Yeah, I'm saying like basically what I'm saying is what you're alluding to is, are there certain things that you wouldn't do in a marriage, like that would be considered maybe normal in a secular relationship?
that
And
would
I'm
be
talking about
considered
if
normal. No, I don't think that nothing that's normal. Now, if something that would like involve bringing in another person or something like
yeah,
that, but other than that, no.
Oh,
I feel like I'd be pretty
so if
like
your husband was like,
open-minded. It's within the marriage bed. Yeah, I'd be open-minded.
okay, so your husband's degenerate as hell, and he's like,
Well,
let's try this crazy shit. You got the butt jewel, I got a butt jewel, I got the KY, like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, fuck it. Because that, you know, sometimes you get
it would depend on what it is. It would depend on what it is and stuff. But I think, you know, I imagine I would, yeah, I'd be very in love, and I would want my husband to be happy. And assuming it wouldn't be like a degrading thing for me or something like that, I would be open-minded in that
do
area.
you, it's a good question because I see a lot of religious people fall into this. Do you see a sexual relationship as, you've probably been in long-term relationships, I'd imagine.
Right.
Do you see like the act of sex in a relationship as a chore in some situations?
No. I think it's just like I feel like if somebody is feeling like that, then they need to fix their diet or what the crap, because like that is a natural human desire. I don't understand why. And I think one reason with a lot of women who are like a lot of like a lot of sexless marriages and stuff, and because of the woman more often than not, like what the crap, I don't know if it's the hormonal birth control, I don't know if it's their poor diet, I don't know what it is, but to me that makes no sense, and I don't get how. I don't understand. I don't.
Yeah. So I was talking to this girl recently. The reason I bring this up is actually happened very recently. I was talking to this girl, and she's devout, like devout Islamic, and
Right.
And I mean for real. And she told me that, like, you know, sex with her husband was exclusively a chore,
What
and
the crap?
she didn't want to do it. She was not interested in it,
Yikes.
and they were together for a long time.
That
And
sucks.
yeah, and she was like, no, absolutely not. And like, it was just, they got to a point where she just didn't want to do it anymore. And like, he would have to like force himself on her. And
Yeah, that's not good.
that
I mean,
also
it's
made,
just
you
it's
know,
not
it made her comfortable,
healthy.
of course. So
It's
yeah,
not
and I
healthy
don't
for the relationship.
do,
That needs to be strong. And like that's one thing is a lot of Christians just are, a lot of people act like Christians are all like super prudish and stuff like that. And it's like what they don't understand is that Christians are not against sex. It just needs to be in the confines of marriage how God intended it.
yeah.
But Christians freaking love sex. Like
Yeah,
it's,
no, I
it's
know that for sure. Dude, trust me. Every time I see a girl on Tinder and it's like a devout Christian, I'm like, yeah, swiping right. I know
they
it's gonna
do. I'm
happen.
telling you, like Christians love sex, but it's like
Yeah.
it's a matter of, okay, is this the right way and how God intended to do it, being obedient to how God
Yeah.
wanted it.
Yeah, those Christian girls are always the slipperiest. Now, dude, and that's a great point. And that's kind of like what I was alluding to, I think. Now that I've got my mindset straight.
Mhm.
Is like, so let's say, you know, like God is a physical being and he's looking down. Because I'm not very versed.
Right,
You know,
right,
I'm
okay.
just kind of floating around in the
Mhm.
world. But let's say God is a physical being that's able to look at you. He doesn't, if he sees the husband pull out the butt jewel and like he's like got his like rubber gloves on, and you know what I'm saying? Like he got the straps out and the handcuffs and shit. God just sees that and they're like, well, they're married, so fuck it. So he's cool
I
with it.
mean, there's actual Bible verses that's off the top of my head that's saying like the marriage bed is not defiled. So unless they were to bring like another person in or something, the marriage bed is not defiled. They're free to just do what they want.
What if the other person is brain dead, like a vegetable?
I mean,
That's like a fleshlight.
I don't know. I've never thought about that.
Me neither. I just thought about it. Because you're like, what if they bring another? I'm like, what if they aren't not really a person? They're just like a big old ass.
I mean, here's the thing: is
You know, like
I don't even know how to answer.
that's
that.
basically like you're giving your like I have a fleshlight for you, husband.
They're
Here's the thing.
married, and they.
But it's just like I found
It
this.
would
and,
depend on the person, but it's just like
Yeah,
maybe
I
they should
found this
ask that ahead of time. Okay, if I go brain dead, it's okay. We're married.
Yeah. You
I
just
don't
roll.
know.
You got a wheelchair, and you're like, I found this, at the hospital in this certain wing, and just throw it on the bed. But all right, so in God's eyes, this person's soul is definitely not intact. So, like,
I mean, I'm not,
get the butt.
that's a tough one, but I don't I don't.
It's
I
very
can't
tough
give like
question.
an actual biblical answer there, but in my opinion, if they were already married, they already had that marriage covenant, something like that happened, and they're a Christian couple. I don't see how the brain dead person would be, prior to being brain dead. If they were to, if that were to happen, I don't think that they would oppose to it. I don't know.
Like because it's like your husband, who is a doctor, is a man of God. So but he has this opportunity. It's like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like you roll her into the room and you're like, I found this Uma Thurman lady and she's brain dead. So like it does technically, if you look in the Bible, it says the bed is not defiled unless you bring another person into it. But if that person happens to be a vegetable, then we're fine. That's what it says. So like, you just bring somebody in. There you go. That works. But they gotta be brain dead. And they ain't gonna be sexy. They gotta be like freshly brain dead, or else they're all be all muscles atrophied and shit. And you want to have the ass still be kind of fat. Speaking of asses that are fat, Cliff On says, what's your opinion, Melonie, on Passport Bros? If you're familiar with the community, if not, what can we do to get Camelot to read the Bible and convert to Christianity? Why Kick and not Rumble? Okay, so let me answer why Kick and not Rumble. I feel like Rumble is the streaming for Rumble as far as talking like this is fantastic. Mm-hmm. For gaming, it's not quite the air that
exactly.
Yet. And that's pretty much the only difference for Rumble. Kick is very close to Twitch. That's probably there. But are you familiar with Passport Bros?
Does that basically mean like a guy who will find a wife from another country?
Yeah. So I'll give a quick definition for it that is not biased or anything like that. So basically, what a passport bro is considered a successful man, socially and financially attractive, whatever, here in America or a Western country that will go abroad to another country where values are more in line with what he feels or what he believes, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say he goes to Japan where they're way more conservative. I don't care what they try to preach on Twitter.
Right.
You know how people are trying to say they're pro LGBTQ in Japan.
Yeah, it's like, come on now. Yeah.
And then see, a black lady's going to go there and be like, oh, I'm going to go to Japan. They're really opening. And then you get there and they're like, why are you here? You live now, black. And she's like, oh fuck. So yeah, they don't lock you. I'm going to be honest. There's a reason why they take you out of ads in almost every movie. But that being said, they go to places like Japan or South Korea, and they'll find somebody with traditional values that's going to cook and clean for them, that's going to love them, take care of them, rub their feetsies, and not be assholey when they get home. They're going to be their peace of mind. And it's just, that's all women in those countries. Whereas 99% of women here are balls ass trash.
Yeah.
They don't like, I don't know how to cook. It's like, what do you mean you don't know how to cook? You don't even have a job. You don't even have a degree. What do you mean you don't know how to cook? You better know how to cook, baby. Because if you stay in my house and my mortgage is $4,800 and you're staying in my house, you best be whipping up just the slickest ass meatballs I've ever had in my damn life. They better be good too. You better be, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
right.
And what would she say? Right? She'd be like, well, if you don't want me how I am, then you don't get me. And it's like, all right, well, you move out of the house. You ain't gonna stay here.
It's just like the whole feminist movement and all that kind of stuff has ruined current generation of women, and it's awful. I really don't blame these passport bros for looking for women that align more with what they want and more conservative women elsewhere. I don't blame them for that, because my goodness, the way that it is right now and how a lot of women are is they expect the guy to provide everything financially, but he's also supposed to help with cooking, help with the house. So it's like, well, then what do you do? What are you contributing? Yeah, you're just here and because you're pretty. It's just like, that ain't enough, especially when these girls are gatekeeping sex, and it's just like this. So they expect a guy to be in a sexless marriage, No, it's like all of it. It's like, well, then what is he even?
Dude,
Why would he even get married? I don't
see
blame
it so much.
him.
I see it
Yeah.
so much. I'll be scrolling through Instagram Reels, right? Because TikTok's the devil. And I'll be scrolling, and it's like when I finally have to do what I promised him, like earlier in the week, and it's like her laying on the bed and like throwing a tantrum, like with like a background like voice thing on it of somebody like being like no, like in Interstellar they use the sound bot from Interstellar where it's like dudes beating on the window going no, and it's like I have to tell my or pay up, Saturday when I told my husband he'd get a taste, and I'm like. Gross.
Yeah.
What do you mean pay up? What do you mean do what you promise?
Well, that's it.
Dude, if I was with a girl and it'd been a couple days and I start loving on her and kissing on her ass cheeks and stuff and rubbing her back and she's giving me the cold shoulder, I'd be like, dude, you get the fuck out of my house. I don't do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's extenuating circumstances around what's going on in somebody's life. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe you have a discussion about it. But like, I'll never understand that shit. Dude, when I was married, we were having sex like every other day until the day she left. There was never a point where we stopped.
Well, that's how I feel like if a married couple is not having sex regularly, and there's not some sort of underlying health thing that they're going through, that's messed up. It's wrong, and it's not going to be that healthy of a marriage. And even the Bible says like it is. A woman or a man, they're not supposed to withhold sex from one another. That's actually a sin to do. Now, obviously, there's going to be specific scenarios where it's just like, okay, she's sick today or something like that, where there's some rare exceptions. But as a whole, man, that's not supposed to be a thing. It's not biblical to be a thing. And also, they should want to do that with each other. It should they should want each other. I can't even imagine, like, that would suck to live a life where you don't even feel wanted and you're married to someone who doesn't even want you in that way. Like, and that is just like a chore and a job. That's awful.
I love so hard. So I don't know. Now this is only, I hope it happened like once, but but like, man, when I like love somebody, dude, it's like their whole body's like a masterpiece, and I will be massaged and like a damn cat making biscuits. I'm like loving kissing on foreheads, drag my tongue across every inch of a body. And I'm all about that. So if I had a woman and she was like cold shouldering me, and I'm like worshiping her body like that, dude, I would never be in that relationship to begin with. If I even got a hint of that shit happening early, I'd be done. Like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. I just, because it's important to me, man. Showing my love. Alan Alex says, Melonie, do you actually maintain any hope for 2-meter games with Amazon to control? Laura will be trans 100%. I just gave up all hope on it.
I have no hope. I have zero. I already feel like the direction that it already was, even the last reboot, was not ideal. So it's only going to get worse from here. Buckle up.
Completely agree. I don't have any hope for any female-led anything anymore, because they're gonna make it about how men are shitty. Like, men suck, and she's a badass, and she doesn't have any drawbacks. And I'm just like, no thanks. I'm just tired of this. I'm being tired of shit. Raider, woo! Hot diggity damn. Here's another light red to counter the dark red. Raider's been going ham as hell. I appreciate you, Raider. Is Raider one of your boys?
Yeah.
Damn, Raider, I appreciate that. Now you're one of my boys. What's up, baby?
Yeah.
Thank you, Raider. Raider's going hard as hell today. He's goated as hell. Give him a kiss on his face. Thank you. I don't deserve your love, my man. Hercules said Camelot wants a new gym. I wouldn't. Let's actually take this super chat serious, even though it's not serious. I would not want to do that because I think I look disgusting all the time. And I'll drop my drawers and they get ready for a shower, and I'll have a girl that was staying over, and she'd be like, "Bro, you look great." Like, she'll say that shit. Like, and I'm like, but I don't feel that way.
Really?
Never. So I would never be able to go to a new gym, because I would be new too. Like, and I'd be like, well, look at my ass cheeks, bro. Please, I'll be like covering my ass and stuff. I wouldn't be able to do it, dude. I just I'm not. I don't feel like I look good. I feel like that's the problem with most people that go to the gym. And that's why they're there every day, because you never feel like you don't feel
that is one thing about working out a lot, though, is because on one hand it will help build your confidence when you start to see your shape like look better, but then on the other hand it almost does cause body dysmorphia because it's like,
the bigger my tits get, I'm like, I want them bigger.
Right. It's just
Be bigger.
never enough. And then it's just like, oh my goodness. And then you're looking at other people who are like on gear and stuff and comparing yourself. And yeah, it can actually be tough.
Mitchell says there are M and F gyms, male and female gender is becoming an issue. Yeah, because now you
I
got just
haven't
ass
seen them around
dudes.
here, but yeah.
Yeah, you just got, there's a couple here, but you just got dudes that are just like putting a wig on and they have like a balding head and then they like dye their beard pink for whatever reason. And then they go to the gym. And then everybody's like, well, we have to be inclusive. We can't say anything wrong. Oh, and then they end up getting arrested for like raping a girl in the locker room. Shocking.
Yeah.
Can't believe this happened again. The thing that never happened again.
Yep.
So yeah, I think they need to put a hard line in the sand. Look, if you're above the age of 18, you're an adult, you want to be trans, you want to transition, whether you pass or not, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want to do in life. You know, it's free country. I think you should enjoy what you're doing. But having the entirety of normality and normal people and everybody else just trying to live their life have to conform to your way of life because you just had a thought someday, that's not how this works. Like if you're a biological man, you're not playing in women's sports. And if you're a biological man, you are absolutely not going to a locker room where there's sometimes are 12 and 13-year-old girls.
Exactly.
I would shotgun you in the fucking face if it was up to me.
Yep.
So I will never ever disagree with that. And I've always thought that way. Like, dude, like I said, I've been around, children lately, but because of a living situation. And, I'm like, they're goofy and I'm like, carrying them on my shoulders and we're like going out and, they're kind of awful, but it's fine. But that being said, there are people out there that would see a 11-year-old girl with her mom that in a locker room and they're plotting. Right. And I was shotgun a dude, like kill him immediately. Like, so we need to put a hard line in the sand because those people will always exist. They're not going anywhere. So unfortunately, Raider again, damn Raider boy, agree with Melonie. When I was married, I had no desire to look at other women. Cannot say the same for my ex. Now, Raider, let me say something because I had no desire at other women ever. It actually, weirdly enough, did not even cross my mind, which is something I can't even imagine now. But like back then, dude, if a girl would message me on Instagram or like come into my store and be like, oh, like trying to get my number and stuff. Back in the day when I was at GameStop, I would be like, no, I'm married. And I would never think about it again. Right. Which is something I can't believe I was ever like that at one point in my life. But yeah, as far
you ever wish you could get like that again?
Oh no.
Like if you were to think about it, do you ever think like, what if there was a special woman that entered in your life and that you could have something like that with, but she would actually treat you well and she would love you just like you loved her?
Maybe. The unfortunate truth though is I've accomplished everything meaningful in my life I accomplished alone. Right. So there's this weird like thing in the back of my mind that always nags at me that like if I got into that situation again, what would happen? Because when I was married, dude, I worked. I worked 9 to 5, 8 to 6, whatever, 8 to 4, and I never thought about anything else. Right. And then like when she left, I was like, well, I guess I'll start racing. I guess I'll start YouTube. I guess I'll do all this stuff I always wanted to do. And it all, all popped off. All this stuff started happening. So I'm like terrified that I'll tunnel vision and fucking ruin everything. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
And so hard on that one thing,
It's tough. It's tough when you've been burned and all that. It's and it does seem like things are easier with life coasting whenever it's just like, okay, I'm single, I'm going to do this. And that's like one reason why I even quit dating. And I was just thinking like my own emotional peace. Like I want to preserve my peace. So if I just get in this mindset of, okay, I'm not dating anybody, I'm not even trying to date anybody, I'm just going to focus on my work, I'm going to focus on having fun with my family and like really just try to be the best me I can be, go to the gym, all that, and just focus on self-improvement so much, then it gets really hard to put yourself out there and make yourself vulnerable again after that. It's like, well, what I'm doing right now, I'm content. I'm way happier than I was when I was in a miserable relationship. So why would I risk losing all that for somebody? I understand that thought, but then at the same time, I think at the end of the day, like one of the most beautiful experience you could have in your life would, in my opinion, would be to fall in love with somebody who loves you like you love them. And you both still have your things that you're really into. Yeah. And that but you can just share life with somebody while still doing the things that you want to do and still pursuing your dreams, and still that's the dream. But but it's really hard to put yourself in a situation where you're vulnerable with somebody, because it's like, I don't want my peace disrupted and I have to go through, a year of healing again, and just to get myself back up when I'm already in the zone right now. So I get it.
Yeah.
I do get it. But I think at the same time, is it's like, it's good things in life are worth taking risk for. So I don't know for you if it would take meeting a woman who is just like, just, I know earlier we talked about this and you said no woman can change me, but I don't know if you ever could meet a woman who would be like that for you and who you just aligned really well with or not. But I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. And the thing is, I've had situations in the past where I've had girls that I kind of latched onto, and they would do a lot of shit with me, like travel with me and do a lot of shit with me.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I'll text this person and I'll be like, hey, I'm doing this, next weekend, blah, blah, blah. I'm flying over here. Like, if you do you want me to get things ready for you to go? Right. Because I'd have like a person I hung out with a lot. And they'd be like, they would like kind of like confide in me and be like, we do all this. It's like, we're doing all this stuff. I'm flying with you. And I just like, it's really stressful. And it's a lot of like, there's a lot of anxiety there. And I don't want to do that all the time. And I'm like, well, and then I'm like never talking to you again. Because if I get with a person like that, and eventually it's like, well, I don't want to go with you anymore. It's like, okay, that's fine. And then it's like, oh, now I'm mad because you're doing all this shit.
Right.
And it's like, oh, now the dynamic's starting to change. And I'm just not. And I'm like, where I am right now, I can do everything I need to do to be successful, and nothing stops me from that. And and I don't want it to change. You know what I'm saying?
I don't blame you. I think that, while I don't necessarily believe in the concept of soulmates, where it's just like, oh, there is one person who was created for me and I was created for this person, and it's just, we were destined to meet, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's I don't necessarily agree with that. I think for the most part, we choose who we're going to be with. And I think that's more romantic, is picking somebody than just, oh, this is just how life made it. So I think for you but at the same time, you don't want to force something. And if you're actually going to be like actively, it's hard to say, but I think if you're already in a spot where you're happy, you're content, you're doing what you want to do, I don't think you necessarily need to just drop everything and go on searching like crazy for somebody, because hey, then you're really going to risk getting your heart broken again and having to try to heal all over again from that, and then mess up your momentum right now in life, right? But if somebody were to come into your life and you felt some kind of way and you started to actually think, wow, maybe this girl could be somebody that I could have a future with, then in that kind of situation, at some point you are going to have to take the risk again. But
somebody in the chat said, oh, holy hell, says unfair proposition. You won't commit, but you're asking a girl to be available 24/7. And the way I look at that, and this is probably unfair, maybe, I don't know, but the way I look at that is if a girl isn't ready to like do everything that is required from me, I could care less. Right. So it's like, oh, well, she's just going to leave and you don't deserve her anyway. And I'm like, I didn't want her in the first place.
Right.
That's the whole point. It's like, I don't either conform to everything I'm asking or don't be involved, because I'm not interested. Right. Somebody said, what's 7626? Yeah. That's a bullet. Real quick. I found a super chat real quick. I want you to speak on this while I use the bathroom, because I'm about to die.
Okay.
Because I drank a Monster and a Claw and it's going through me real fast. The Night's Watch, real quick, says Chrissy and Anna thinks there's nothing wrong with Christians having premarital sex. Speak on that real quick.
They're wrong. I mean, I love them, but does not align with the Bible. The Bible is extremely clear on that, and it actually says fornicators listed with, like, a lot of people in the Christian community, they love to, go after homosexuality, things of that nature, and they should. It is in the Bible, but they don't want to look inward at, oh, okay, well, fornication is also on that exact same list. Fornicators will not see heaven. That doesn't mean everybody who has ever fornicated before. But if you are actively living in fornication, then no, it's there in the Bible. And so it's outlined right there multiple times. It is a sexual sin. So no, you can't inherit the kingdom of God if you are actively living that kind of lifestyle, period. And you just run into a ton of issues when you start saying, well, this is okay, but God will still love me, this and that. The Bible is very, very clear on that. There is no question about it. And then the Arc Spartan says, he who has not sinned. A lot of people love to bring that up because obviously we all sin, but there's a big difference between sinning and messing up sometimes versus living a lifestyle of sin. And you cannot choose a lifestyle of sin and live in a lifestyle of sin and choose Christ at the same time. It doesn't work. And there is no harmony between, and when you're a Christian, like, Christ lives in you. Christ has no harmony with sin. You can't have both. You can't have both together. And even this reminds me of, like, I believe it's Hebrews 10:26. Let me Google this. It says, if we deliberately keep on sinning after we have received the knowledge of the truth, no sacrifice for sins is left, but only a fearful expectation of judgment and of raging fire that will consume the enemies of God. And the Bible, the abominable sins in the Bible are sexual sin. It's just the way that it is. It doesn't matter if you like it, if I like it. We don't make the rules. That's in the Bible. So someone cannot say, oh yeah, you can be a Christian and live a sinful lifestyle. That's leading people astray. It's not correct.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I had to use the bathroom real bad, and that was a good segue. Here is Andrew Robb with a pink boy.
Hey!
Amazing, unbelievable, unrivaled support from my boy. I love you, dude. I appreciate you so much. He says, when I get married, I definitely don't look at another woman again. I would devote my whole attention towards her or towards the one I'm with and be the best Christian husband I can be, which is
awesome,
generally speaking what you should do. But, life can be a little trickier than that sometimes. Thank you so much, Andrew Robb, by the way. That's insane. I love you, dude. I appreciate that. And I don't disagree with any of that. Now, granted, I don't identify, I guess I shouldn't say it, that sounds stupid. I'm not a Christian. I'm not involved in any religion, but I generally believe the same moral structure, I feel like, when it comes to dating and whatnot. Because I'd cheat a bitch. Like if she goes out and does something, I'd shoot a bitch. I can't. Ugh. Jim Purvey says, hey, Camelot, love these live shows. Wonder if you ever did a video on your diet and workout routine. I know somebody wanted to sue you over it. But you say what you do, then it's all up to us fat asses to do it or don't. Yeah. So I have not, and I don't plan on it because I don't really care much about like fitness content. Like, I like to watch a dude bench a lot of weight, like in a reel. Like, that's pretty much all. I used to watch, I forget what it's called, like Bro Science or something. Some guy that used to lift, and he was hilarious. But Elgin Intensity, I watched that. But other than that, yeah, I've just never. I just do it for me, really. It's kind of like my personal thing, mental health thing. Johan, I'm not based. I just see women as completely adversarial to my goals and ambitions. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I'm on that monk grind, been for years. Just Johan, a ghost in the machine. Thank you, Johan. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, I don't exactly disagree with that.
I kind of want to address people's questions in chat too about tattoos because I'm talking about all this. And they're like, well, what about tattoos? What about tattoos? I have multiple answers for that. Firstly, when you look at Levitical law, that was for the Israelites at the time and also to set them apart from those who were the idolaters and all that. And so they had to have an image that looked different. The verse above the tattoo verse told them not to shave their beard. And also they had to wear their hair a certain way. And so the guys weren't supposed to cut their hair short. So that was a thing too. And it wasn't that it was a sin to have short hair. It wasn't a sin to shave the beard. But in that particular time, they had to look different. They had to be set apart. And the tattoos were also a part of that. But in addition to that, it wasn't referencing body art tattoos specifically. They had practices back then where they would do like scarification rituals. They would cut themselves until they bled for these idols. And so that is more so what it's referring to. And furthermore, let's just say hypothetically, if people were like, wait a minute, no, it does mean body art. Just because someone has tattoos, that is different than like an active sin. Let's say, I don't even think tattoos are a sin, but let's say if they were, they're there. That's done. That's just like if someone's done any other sin in the past and they're not actively living in it. That's a big difference. But also that there are varying level of sins as well. And a lot of people don't know this who are biblically illiterate, and they just think, oh, like the Bible specifically talks of sin that leads to death, and death being hell. And sexual immorality is in that. So not to say that you can't ever be forgiven for it, but if you are actively living it, actively lifestyle, then no, you can't serve Christ and actively live a lifestyle of sin at the same time.
Right. Okay.
So, there we go.
Hercules says, Camelot asking all the questions we wondered. Yeah, that was a response to that crazy question I asked earlier about the degenerate sex life. Medieval Syphilis says, beside the main lifts, bench, and squat, what are y'all's favorite exercises for each muscle group? Oh, God. Besides bench, squat, and deadlift? I don't deadlift. Last one, I deadlifted 405 randomly like 2 or 3 months ago to see if I still could deadlift, but I don't really do it because it makes me just feel sore in the wrong ways. I don't really care for it. Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe shoulder press. I like shoulder press with dumbbells.
I like rows. Rows, like bent over rows.
Rows, yeah, rows are cool. And I like kickbacks, cable kickbacks for my ass cheeks. I like those because I gotten really good at form on them, and it really feels like it's really hitting my ass cheekies. So yeah, those I would say. And I do like bent down rows as well. I think those are great. It's just my gym doesn't have a lot of, like, as far as just the dumbbells, like the bar dumbbell things, like they just don't go high enough for me. I have to do like 225 pounds when I do those. So I have to like get a giant freaking bar and like go over to the squat rack and use the squat rack. And when people are there, and I don't want to use the squat rack when people need it for squatting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an issue for me. Adam Russell says, Christian Jewish lesson about a man who walks by a river bath, but averts his eyes. He felt he didn't sin, but he did sin because he shouldn't have walked by because he knew and tempted himself. Are we talking about like him seeing some ass cheeks? Because yeah, I did that. See that now, if just me seeing some ass cheeks, like was a sin, dude, I'd be boned.
I think people should not purposefully put themselves in situations that are going to be tempting. And there's some sort of backlash against that for some people, and they're just like, oh, you should just be so iron-willed that nothing could ever phase you. But let's be real, we're all human, and we all are going to have specific things that are going to tempt us, and whatever that maybe it's going to look different for everybody. But if you know what that is, and don't put yourself in those situations. And that's also kind of how I agree with or how I think about when it comes to couples who, the whole girls who have a bunch of guy friends, guys who have a bunch of girlfriends, that sort of thing. Is I think that boundaries are important for couples. I don't think there's a universal thing that's going to work there. For some, it's just like, oh, anything goes. And if this guy has a problem with me texting all these guys every single day, then then I'm just going to leave or whatever. But I do think that there are healthy boundaries to have and what people are going to be comfortable with, because it is very arrogant to say that nothing ever would ever tempt somebody into doing something wrong. Nobody should ever act on it, but to say that no situation, I'm so iron-willed that no situation is even going to offer that temptation in any capacity. I mean, come on. Don't put yourselves in situations that are going to potentially do that.
Yeah. That's a good point, because what were you mentioned something just 2 seconds ago. Oh, and now I forget what I was talking about.
Like the girls with guy friends, a bunch of guy friends and all that.
You said boundaries. So this is one thing I don't understand. Guys need to have balls.
Yeah, they do.
Women do. Like women will tell you immediately, like, I'm not okay with this thing. So men don't have the balls. They just they'll do stuff in secret and be gay. Like don't just tell women straight up. Like if you're like, hey, I don't like, I'm not comfortable you going hanging out with like this guy friend that you've had for a long time,
Mhm.
like alone, like sometimes. And you know the guy and he's like not effeminate at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not comfortable with this. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, well, if you're not comfortable with it, then whatever. And the guys need to have the balls to be like, yeah,
Yep.
well, you can fuck off because I'm not interested.
Exactly.
But
And
yeah,
there's
guys would
nothing
be
wrong
like,
with that. He'll be treated like he's controlling, he's this or that. Well, if
yeah,
he's not comfortable with it, that's that,
move on.
there's a difference between, oh, you have to be isolated, you're never allowed to interact with the male species at any capacity ever again. But that's different. But to not want his girl to be, texting her guy friends all day every single day, or going out with them one on one, that sort of thing, that's fair for him to not be comfortable with that. And I mean, it's just part of the reality of stuff too, is if you are spending enough private time with somebody, and especially if there's some level of attraction, at least one person is attracted to the other one, then you are putting yourself in a situation of developing feelings for somebody if you're just talking to them a lot and there's an attraction there. So some people might say like, oh, that would never happen with the girl with their guy friend or the guy with their girlfriend. I don't think it's healthy to even put yourself in a situation where it could, because if you are just constantly spending a ton of time together, it could happen.
Yeah. So great point. A lot of people go to, well, some men do if they trust her. And I don't not trust a person, right? The issue is your chick's going hang out. Like, there's got to be a point where you have to have self like perseverance, right? Like,
Mhm.
so if you're letting your chick go hang out with like a dude and they're
Yeah.
like, dude, I have a friend, and he would let his girl, she would say like she's best friends with this guy that she met at some rock climbing place, right?
Right.
And she would be like, yeah, I'm gonna go this weekend. Me and that guy are going to like Florida.
Mhm.
And they would like go to
That's
Florida for like 3 days without her guy.
To me, it's like, I don't understand that. Why?
Yeah.
Why if she's gonna take a trip to Florida for a few days, why wouldn't she want to do that with her man? Like, why does she want some random dude?
So, but she would do that all the time, and it would be like a different dude. Like every other month, she'd have another guy that she's
Mm-mm.
traveling to places with, and eventually she finally leaves him because she's
Right?
been cheating for fucking 3 years now with like 50 guys, and he's
Yeah.
like. And he's like, well, I trust her, and I don't think she's doing anything. And I'm like, bro, everybody on earth knows this. She even posted pictures on Instagram of her with like in a bed, like with no clothes on, like with the covers up to her, like, and one of the
Wow.
guys beside her. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Wow.
oh my god! And that's you have to, dude. Look, you may trust your girl, but like I know what guy is doing. He may be a good dude too,
Right.
but there is almost no situation where a guy that you're friends with would at any point be like, the girl could be like, hey, you know what? Like, I know we are just friends, but do you want to have sex? That guy almost in every situation be like, yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
and here's the
100%
thing
do it.
is, if there's an attraction there on one side, or especially both,
Yeah.
if you're attracted to somebody and you talk to them a lot, you will develop feelings. Period. That's just how it is. So either you gotta have a bunch of ugly friends or set some boundaries there, dude. Like, don't spend too much time. Like, keep things like more surface level, and to me, it's just like, especially in a marriage. In a marriage, it's like, why does a woman need to be texting a bunch of guys all the time, or talking to a bunch of guys, or hanging out one-on-one with guys all the time?
Yep.
Why does, and the same vice versa? Why does a guy need to be talking to other girls all the time? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like something I wouldn't do when I was married. I just wouldn't talk. I didn't have really a want or need to talk to girls, but I just know how, dude, it's not fair. And I know it's a double standard, but I know how guys think. And there are girls out there that will be, dude, I've known girls in the past that I was friends with, and they were, they had boyfriends, and they would have other guy friends, and they would
Right.
go hang out with another guy friend, and they would be drinking and whatnot, and they would just get, they would confide in me, and they would get drunk, and they would end up like having sex with this guy, but they were drunk, and they're like, holy shit, I regret this. Why'd I do this? And it's like, dude, shit happens. So just don't put yourself in that situation.
You're right. Don't even allow the situation to happen.
Just don't let it happen, right? Because that's just it happens, man. If there's some kind of,
Jay, shut up. He goes, I'm Mel's friend. I guess I'm ugly. This is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
you're not ugly at all. You're
No,
beautiful,
this
man.
is what I'm saying with that. It's like, and I have a lot of friends who are dudes, but the difference is I'm not talking to them all every single day and just like calling them and having all these deep conversations every single day. Like, I ain't got time for that unless I'm into a guy. And so I
Yeah.
can't imagine just like I don't see I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm introverted and that's one reason why I can't imagine it. But it's just like I just and that's not a knock at any of my friends. It doesn't mean I don't want to spend any time with them, but it's just like, do I want one-on-one time with my guy friends all the time? Dude, like I'm sorry, not really.
Right. And so this is how that would work for me. If I was like you, I don't care if you have like friends that are guys that you know from the past or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
there can be
let's
some
say let's
yeah.
say for hypothetically, like let's say me and Melanie Mac are married for some reason, and she's like, look, she's friends with Jay. She's been friends with Jay for a long time, and they talk back, like, joke with each other on Instagram, whatever. Dude, I'm going fuck. I don't care.
Right.
It's not. But she's like, hey, I'm gonna like fly to Washington, like for a
Right.
vacation for some reason in Washington, and Jay's gonna come with me, and we're gonna stay the week. I'm gonna be like, no, you're not.
Right.
Even though I don't think I trust her, and should I even trust Jay? Fuck it. But it's just that's not like it's not. It doesn't fly with me. It gets breaking the rule.
And that's totally fair. And we're just in a society right now that says that if a guy's like has those boundaries or a girl, anybody, oh well, you're just overly jealous. You're just and it's so shamed. But there does need to be boundaries. They're important.
Slanging Nanner says, like a brother is a huge red flag. Bro, you already know. Speaking of huge red flag, Disco Cobra.
Hey,
my boy. Hot diggity. Damn, son. Hot diggity. Damn. Says, what up, Cammy Melanie? I see y'all just got back home from having a nice barbecue with friends and families, 4-wheelers and beer. Dude, that sounds like my growing up bonfires. Whatever I missed, love Melanie's religious discussions. A lot of fun, dude. Thank you, Disco, so much. I love you. I appreciate you. Go to this hell. Thank you. It's always nice to hear from a completely different world. Like, because look, I won't beat around the bush. I'm not religious. I'm just not.
Right.
And I'm not interested in being like, it's just not.
Yeah.
I will die one day. It's just gonna happen. But
hey, you might find Jesus someday.
Maybe I'll find him, Jesus, somewhere. I'll be just
there you go. There you go.
Be going through like some cornfields, and then he's just there. Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, this is just not a path for me. And I don't think, there's anything wrong with it, but I love hearing like from other people, like how they see certain situations, which is why I brought up the degenerate question about the sex.
Right.
And this is great because this leads into the next super chat where it's Adam Russell.
Hey.
Says, question is to ask, where is the degenerate needs coming from? Most likely porn, which is cheating in one's heart. Disagree. Marriage to become one. And sex is not just physical but spiritual. Don't disagree.
Biblically speaking, you don't agree with the Bible, so obviously you're gonna have your own unique opinion on this. But biblically speaking, absolutely, porn is cheating.
Okay, so what if you're married? Obviously, you're married, and like one of the things you really like to do in your own bedroom with your wife, and she loves it too. Like maybe she brought it up. Fuck, I don't know. You like to like kind of like watch porn, like. And like, do your thing and have this on in the background, like kind of like getting you jazzed.
That would never happen with me.
Not with you, motherfucker. I'm not asking you. I'm saying what?
I'm just thought you were asking me if you were saying for me in a relationship, would I be okay with that in a marriage?
I wasn't inviting you to a thing. I was saying like.
No, I weren't saying you were inviting me. I was saying do you say I would be okay with that in a marriage?
No. What I mean is, would that be cheating? Is what I'm saying. Two random people, hypothetical.
Dude, if they're not living a Christian lifestyle and stuff like that, it ain't none of my business. They're
devout Christians, but they're
If they call themselves Christians and they're doing that, they're cheating and they're falling into sin, and that would not be good.
While they're just in their own room smashing pistols, but there's porn on in the background.
I mean, if they knew it was on there and they intentionally put it on.
They put it on, obviously, Melanie. Come on.
Yeah, that would. Yeah,
okay, that was
my
wrong. Question. That was my question.
That'd be wrong. Yeah, it would.
Thank you. Dude, I'm so anti porn is like evil thing. I think it's so silly because
porn is ruining society. It's causing so much degeneracy among porn watchers. And I think that's also one of the reasons why we have just this rise of all this crazy stuff going on with the transgender movement and all that. Like so much of it is fetish and degeneracy. Not to say that there aren't people who actually are suffering with something, but a lot of it is because porn has rotted their brains. And you see, I saw someone mention something saying they were in Facebook groups of transgender communities. They were in a Facebook group for male to female transgender, and they were in another one from female to male. And you notice that the ones who were female to male, their questions in that group were all about like, hey, I don't know if I'm passing right now, this and that, and actual insecurities about their bodies. And then you saw the male to female one, and it was just a bunch of smut. It was just a bunch of pictures of themselves and kinky looking stuff. Because for a lot of these guys that want to pretend like they're women, for a lot of them, it is just some perverted thing.
I completely agree. Now, but what about people that don't abuse porn? Like, so should they be punished? Like, because some people lack self-control.
What do you mean punish? Like, do you mean like saying to ban it or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people that are in favor of banning porn.
Oh, I'm not totally sure that I think it should be banned, because I mean, it's a tough discussion. I do think that it is absolutely just poisoning society, and it has ruined dating for a lot of people. And it does keep a lot of people from bettering themselves, from actually, because, you know, before porn and all that, dude, people would be more encouraged to actually find a partner, actually be more encouraged to find a mate. Well, now I feel like it can keep some people stuck, and they can become addicted. It can keep them stuck. And so, so I don't know for sure if, you know, because as a Christian, I believe we're supposed to have free will. People, not everybody is, I don't think, oh, okay, we're going to make the Bible all rules, and if you don't follow it, you're in jail, that kind of thing. I do think that we have, you know, living a Christian lifestyle is something that we actively walk in, and people don't all have to do that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I'm not necessarily saying it should be banned. But I do think that it's just like people getting fat shouldn't be banned, but is it good for them? No.
So, but to imply that porn has ruined society, wouldn't the answer to be to ban it?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. But that's just like saying, okay, well, you know, you can't, we're gonna have to start regulating the amount of calories people eat, because right now fatness is messing up society.
No, I agree.
don't think you can really go that far. I think that there has to be some degree of, hey, people need to just get their freaking lives together, and that's on them.
Yeah. So that's my point is, look, I'm sure there are definitely things that is porn's caused. I had friends growing up that they literally would sit there all day, and they would just watch porn for like 8 hours. And I don't know how the fuck they did that. But you know, once a month, once every 2 months, 3 months, you know, shit, I don't even remember the last time I watched porn. It's been a while. It's probably maybe January, February. But every now and then I like to light some candles and just, it's like a self-meditation thing. Just have a good time. So, but it's not something that I ever go, like, it's not something I abuse. And there's definitely people that abuse it, and they do, like, they fetishize a lot of freaking shit.
Right.
So, but there's people out there that think we should 100% ban it. And I'm like, if we were to ban something like that, shouldn't we ban everything?
Right. If you would have to ban everything, like you would have to ban a lot of things. So I don't know about inherently just completely banning it. I do think that it needs a lot more regulation at the very least. And especially since it's so easily accessed by kids and things of that nature. And so that it does need to be a lot more regulated.
Yeah. So, and to that point, real quick. So, you know, I obviously saw porn when I was younger. Like I found it when I was like 11. And maybe younger. I don't remember, man. I was watching on Skinamax, bro. It was great. But that being said, to the one counter I'll say with, and I think it's easy, it's the accessibility, it being easily accessible to everyone on a huge scale right now. But, you know, let's say, you know, porn is ruining society. Porn in some way, shape, or form has been around since like the dawn of like the first humans, probably the first generations of humans, like 180,000 years ago. It's been around forever. So, like, is it only just now ruining society, or has it always?
it always has been. You see a lot of this pattern in the Bible, even though obviously you don't have so much of a descriptor of porn, but it was more so just sexual immorality. You saw the downfall of the Israelites time and time again when they fell into sexual immorality. And it's just a pattern that you see once people really get into degenerate stuff. It does mess up society, and it, you have a stronger society who isn't partaking in that sort of thing. So no, I don't think this is new, and there's really nothing new under the sun. The things that we're seeing in it's just amazing to me reading the Old Testament again, even because I'm reading stuff that it's just like, oh, what do you know? This reminds me of what's going on today. So yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So now that my only concern is like banning. Look, I know people like think it's ruined society, and to some degree, it probably is, especially with fetishing things. And I like you said with the trans community, that's probably right up that alley. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Because and because people like to say it's not based around sex, but it totally is.
Right.
And look, I don't care what you do when you're an adult.
Right.
And I've said this time and time again. Just don't involve children, and you'll see people get angry when they announce that they're not going to let children go to pride parades, and they're like, "Oh, it's not about sex." And I'm like, then why is everybody in rainbow thongs and like kissing each other and whipping each other on the streets? Like, what does that have to do with being in a same-sex marriage? What does that have to do with being a opposite sex, or maybe what does that have to do with anything? But it's like, we have to express ourselves, and I'm like, but what does that have to do with your identity? Like,
exactly.
So I don't care what you do. Just,
right.
Why are you angry and marching that children are not allowed to be there? Dude, there is a video on the internet, and it's been around for a long time. So this is nothing new, but this was probably 10 years ago. There's a video on the internet, and it's just a guy. It's like a frail little ass man, because makes sense. And he's like getting full on forearm fisted by like another man that's holding him at a pride parade, and there's just children everywhere. And it's like he's full on fisted, like there's no underwear on and everything. And I'm like, and I'm like, why does that have to be present? Just don't bring children. I don't care what you do. Like, dude, if I was at a pride parade and there was a dude fisting somebody, I'd be like, oh my God, like whatever, fuck it. I don't care. But like, just don't bring children into it. That's all. It's a hard line in the sand, man. And for some reason, that's just all people want to do now. It's like all we talk about. It's like no one cares about trans nothing. No one cares.
Right.
No one cares. Like,
because that's the thing is, like, at the end of the day, when I think about 20 years ago, whatever, when I was a teenager, and it's like when you thought about transgender people or cross-dressers or anything like that, we joked about it, but we didn't actually have any sort of hatred or bigotry. We just thought it was funny, but they were free to exist as long as they weren't invading spaces they didn't belong in. You just look and be like, oh, that dude's in a wig. You think it was funny, but we did not wish any harm on them or anything like that. And so it's just gotten to a point now to where it's just,
and even it's even so that should be their avenue, right? So
yes,
like, okay, so I would like people to laugh at me less. And I feel like that's totally happened. Like, I don't see trans people and think anything. I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't care. It doesn't even, dude, I was at a strip mall yesterday. I was just walking around because, it's my off day. And I was, had a couple of my friends with me. And there was like a very non-passing trans woman that walked by.
Yeah.
Like in just like a tube top and just belly out. And I did not think anything of it. Didn't think anything. I don't give a fuck. Like, so whatever. Like, whoop, and they walked by. Didn't think about it. And I feel like that's progress. And people aren't, making fun of you or yelling at you. It's progress. But for some odd reason, when the state is like, all right, look, you're trans, that's fine, but you can't you can't give a reassignment surgery to somebody under 18, and all of a sudden they're storming the Capitol. Why? No one said you can't do nothing. You just can't do it to a child.
It's like they want to act like it's the Middle East or something. They're being thrown off rooftops for their, and it's like that's not happening here in America, and that hasn't happened here. So
there's even progress. You can do it. You can fill out an application that says non-binary, and there's all this shit on there now. Like people are trying to adhere and like make people feel included. But like at the end of the day, like children aren't going to be involved in this, and if they are, there's going to be a civil war fought.
Yeah,
because like at the end of the day, like you said, if you go to a pride parade, you go to any kind of like celebration of whatever identity, that's great. But it's hypersexualized. And so at the end of the day, when adults are referring kids or trying to push a kid down that path. Well, maybe you should transition. Maybe you should get on hormone blockers. Maybe you should get a double mastectomy at 13 years old. And there's actual doctors and psychologists offering this and pushing. It's based in a sexual nature.
Right.
And I think it should be like, just put a hard line at 18 and call it the end of the day, and we'll be done with it. And
yeah,
I feel like the vast majority of people can agree, right? But
Yeah.
then you have the people on that will be like, well, it doesn't affect you. And I'm like, well, it could one day.
Right.
So,
But even if it doesn't affect you, are we not allowed to care for the kids? Like, it affects them, and we don't want we don't want them messed up over that.
And there's tons of examples that you can bring up where kids are disenfranchised, and that should change as well. People will say, well, what about this mental health, and what about this and this, and conservatives don't like this, and I'm not a conservative, but they're like blah blah blah. They don't care about kids in this situation or this situation, and I'm like, yeah, and that should change. But like, as far as this is one that's a glaring issue that's like looking us in the face. Right now, there is no states that exist that have a law on the books to prevent a 9-year-old from getting a double mastectomy, or 11-year-old. There is no laws that prevent it. People are like, because people will tell you, well, that's not happening. Well, that's against the law.
It is happening. That's what I hate is when they gaslight and act like, oh, it's not happening though. It's not. I made a post last year about it, and a bunch of people are like, oh, but it's not happening. But it's not happening. I literally Googled like top surgeries and saw these just very established hospitals, doctors, all that, who have it on their site right there, as young as 11 with parental consent. It is absolutely happening and has been happening. And this whole gaslighting of, oh, it doesn't happen. It does.
Yeah.
And it has been.
And I feel like most reasonable people, because that's what it is. Most people are reasonable. I feel like,
yeah.
I mean, Twitter is not the world.
Exactly.
Go to rural America, and that's the world. So, or that's the Western world. And I feel like most people would agree that, like, hey, look, if you're an adult, we don't care. Like, my dad's old. My mom's old. They're older people. They don't care. They don't, dude. If they saw a trans person, they don't give a fuck. They don't.
Right.
Dude, you do you. How about it? Like, I'm glad you're happy. That's how they are older. There's a lot, and that's the vast majority of people think that way.
Yeah.
But when you slide in one more variable of children, everybody starts like standing up because, like, you know what? No, fuck this. Because I don't understand when it became a problem to keep, the innocence of a child alive. Like, when did that become like an issue?
Exactly.
Like, that people are against. Like, and like you said, there is only 2 states. There's one state, Tennessee, and then there's Florida working on it to put laws on the books that prevent children from getting, surgery before the age of 18. And because people will tell you, like, well, that's against the law already. It's like, no, it's not. There's no laws in the books that prevent it. And it's, it's a frustrating thing to see. And then people just get mad. And they're like, well, you just hate trans people. It's like, I have no problem with it. I don't give a fuck. That they can do whatever they want. I don't care. Like, it's dude, when you're a kid, you are dumb as shit. When I was a kid,
yes, exactly.
Dude, my old roommate used to tell me this. She was like, dude, I wore extra large hoodies and baggy pants until I was 16. She's like, and I always just considered myself one of the boys. And I didn't like, she is straight. She likes guys, but she just was like, I've always kind of just wanted to be a guy. And she's like, and then she hit like 17. Yeah. And she was all of a sudden, she's like, my favorite thing to do is get get in a really nice, like form-fitted, like dainty dress and get really cute and go out. Yeah. She loves like getting cute and doing her makeup. She loves doing this. And she says, she told me once, she was like, man, if I would have grown up right now, she's like, I would have been a trans man. And I would have never been able to go back to like, to like how I love being now. And the children are like basically being like, Mom, I want to do this at 11. And they're just like, well, I can't be a bigot. I got to do it. And it ruins their lives. And there's you'll see tons of interviews from people that are like 19. And they have detransitioned, and they're only fucking 19.
It's so sad.
Just now, they're like, "Fuck!" They were like, "I was a stupid kid," and like they'll say, "I will never forgive my parents for letting me do this. Why did you let me do this?" And the parents are like, "I was just trying to make you happy." It's like, no, you're being a dumbass. Yep. Like, there's some things you need to just say no to, and once they're an adult, if they go through some therapy and that's what they want to do, get on it, doggone it, but not before. And I don't feel like that's a controversial opinion, but shit, there are people that think it is. Shit, there's people that have canceled appearances on my show because I've talked about it. There are people that are not allowed to work with me anymore because I've talked about that shit in the past.
Yeah, doesn't
Like,
surprise
and
me
that's
because I lost a lot of friends from speaking out against this stuff. But it's like, whatever, okay, bye.
yeah, and they'll and the point always comes back to, well, they consider themselves on the left. Even though if they actually read any of the issues and got caught up on it, they're still on the left in 2010 standards, but they don't really follow it anymore. They don't
Mhm.
realize that they're actually like lean right, but it's fun. But they'll just be like, well, if it's on the left side of the aisle and I'm there, then if it doesn't affect me, I don't care. And that's how they are. Like, well, I don't like. They should be able to do what they need to do. And it's like, no, you just don't.
Right.
You just don't want to look into it because you don't want to. You don't want to feel like you're part of a different team. And
Mhm.
that's the one cool thing about being not. I don't care about like identity. Like I don't like. For example,
Mhm.
people will be like, "Oh, you got a Dodge truck? That's gross. Dodge sucks." And I'm like, I don't have brand loyalty.
Right.
The 6.7 Cummins is a good engine,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna run that bitch to the ground. You know, like, and I have a dude. I have a freaking 5.0 Mustang. You know, that's not even the same brand. I have a Jeep, not even the same brand. You know, depending on when you like the Chrysler buyout and stuff. But like that's the point is I don't have brand loyalty. You know, I don't care if a politician says some dumbass shit. I'm like, all right, you dumbass.
Yeah, it's people are too scared to get out of some sort of group once they're in it. So for example, with veganism, I think it's one reason why a lot of people stay vegan because they liked that label of being vegan. They felt a part of a community. And so by oh wait, even if they're sick and they're not doing well, they won't stop being vegan just because they have to get rid of that vegan title or feel like they're not
Yeah.
a part of this club that they were in anymore. And that's terrible because in life there's gonna be things that we may believe in at one particular time and we're gonna need to learn and be detached enough to where you can just say, oh, I was wrong on this, I'm not a part of this club anymore.
Yeah. It's super easy. I've done it before. And somebody said, Bane Iron Hand on Rumble said Jeep unsubbing. Listen here, some bitch. It's an 88 YJ with a 4.7 stroker that I put in it. A big old engine. All right. It's not like post buyout. Okay. I don't do that shit. All right. I know the way of the world. All right now. But yeah, I don't get it. And dude, I've had friends like that in the past. And I do have friends that were like strong Democrats.
Mhm.
And now shit's kind of hit the fan. I don't really see how you could ever be really strong conservative, or well, I shouldn't say conservative, but strong right or strong left anymore in any aspect. But they'll still just be there, and it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what comes on the table. It's like cut off a little boy's pee-pee, and they're like, "Yep, let's go for it. If it's what they want, I want it." I'm
Mhm.
like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Just like
real.
think consciously for a second. And that's the people that don't have personalities, and they let like politics. They take that. So you have people, right? You have interest, you have job, you have education, and then you have personality is in there. And some people just don't have the personality part, so they just take politics and they go, and they're like,
Yes.
yeah. And that's like their politics until they find a different interest, and then they make their entire identity about
Right.
that shit. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm not a part of that life. Justin watching this stream with me, he's giving me all the looks. What does that mean, Samantha? Oh, Trap Bisman says went a year without sex. Oof, bro, I have to dump loads, bro. Making 105K, got ripped, did all the cooking additions. I fed up, I fucked up, not cheating. She leaves. I know what it's like to feel unwanted. Bro, I tell you what, man. What do you mean win a year, Trad? You need to elaborate on this shit.
In a relationship?
Win a year? Dude, I went like 4 or 5 days recently. Because I had like a bunch of shit lined up and I had to go race and I was alone and I was doing all this shit. And like, dude, there was like kind of like ghastly girls walking by, and you know, my testosterone be like through the roof, like in the sky right now. And I'm like, girl walks by, she looks like kind of like a garbage can. And I'm like, bro, she got like no ass, cellulite. And I'm like, I don't know why she's looking sexy right now. You know what I'm saying? So like, no, dude, there ain't no way in hell I could go a year, bro. I would shoot myself. Dude, I got to dump them loads, baby. Jesus. God, I'm a dude. I can't be. That's why I can't get old. Once I hit 49, I'm ending it. I can't handle that. Thank you, Trav. But I need some more elaboration on that. Mitchell Field says relationships broke me. I wanted nothing more than a family and kid. Marriage and laws are broken. That's why I gave up being a semi-pro athlete. Okay, so Mitchell, here we go. Here's what I'll talk about to this. You said, now look, I'm not knocking you at all. Don't read me wrong here, baby, because I don't knock people unless it's like Chris Rod or something. He's a bitch. I saw him in the chat while I said it. But you said I wanted nothing more than a family and kids. If your primary goal and drive to find a woman is because you just want a family and kids, you're fucked. Because and the reason I say that is because you're not looking accurately because you're letting something else drive you. And that's why I felt like if I ever find a cool ass chick that's like cool as fuck, and I don't have anything driving me to her, nothing. I'm not looking, I'm not interested. And if I'm able to find a chick, she just comes into my life and she's cool as fuck, and everything works out, like that would be the perfect woman.
I feel like in his situation, though, he does have a lot more of a chance of finding that. There's a ton of girls that, because I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like for the most part, there are so many girls like on the really trad side to where that is their entire purpose is to be a mom and so there are, if you're gonna look like on the super trad side of things, if you're dating very, very traditional girls, you should be able to find that because there's a bunch of them who that is their entire life purpose.
Right. But that's kind of my point is, if that's driving, let's say if that's driving you, what's going to happen? So I have a lot of friends that do this shit, by the way. You're going to find a girl. She's going to be like, let's have sex. And you're going to be like, oh, dude, she likes me. And you're going to like kind of have a good time with her, and you're going to like her. You're going to go into a relationship with her, and you're going to be like, this is her. This is what I want to do. And my issue with that is I've seen friends start dating a girl and immediately like want to marry them, and then they marry them and then get a divorce. And then a month after that, they meet another girl. It's the first girl they met since they're fucking start dating, married. They get a divorce. And I'm like, they want so desperately to be in a relationship and be in love and have this family aspect and all that they can't get it because they immediately pick the first girl that fucking walks up.
You know, funny though,
they never match with them.
Speaking, it's actually statistically speaking that those who date for a super ridiculously long amount of time, they are more likely to divorce than people who date a shorter amount of time.
And that's not what I mean. I don't mean like, I mean they settle for literally the first girl.
Right. So okay. You know
what I'm saying? Like
the first person who come along, right? It's just here's a body that can breathe. You know, I get okay.
And it's something, and I've seen friends in the past, man. They'll start dating a girl. It's like, yeah, I got a new girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then she comes over and like meet her, you know, because we're friends. So meet the girlfriend, and I'm over here like this. This girl has no personality, no interest. She has nothing that aligns with your interests at all. She doesn't even like anything like you like, which is what you explained to me.
Right.
She's not really attractive, and they leave, and I'm like talking to like the guy. I'm like, so what's going on? Like, and they'll say it like, yeah, she's not really into this or that. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then they'll get married to her, and then of course they'll get a divorce a year later. They're like, yeah, she just, she didn't want to have sex anymore, and we just didn't have a sexual relationship, and she wasn't attracted to me, and I wasn't attracted to her, and she had no interest. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it was at first, but you just fucking wanted to, why'd you do it then? And they're like, I don't know. And then they do it again. I'm like,
now, there is definitely some guys in the military have done that. There's even some people like within the Christian community to where it's just like the first warm body that they can find.
And that's what I'm saying.
Right. I get it. I thought you meant like I misunderstood you there. Okay.
Like dating for short periods. No.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm just saying, that just people they and I'll see girls, man. Dude, I've had a friend before in the past, and he starts dating a girl or something shit, and she's awful. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, and I can see that she's not a good suitor. And but he's like, she let me have sex with her, so now I love her. And I'll see another girl come along, like in this time period. And he's been dating this new girl for 4 months, 3 months, 4 months. And a new girl comes along, and he likes her. I can tell he likes her, and they're fucking bantering back and forth, and they're cool.
Right.
I'm like, damn, they're kind of cute, and they're just going back and forth, and then they never do anything because he's with this shit ass chick, and then he leaves the shit ass chick, or she leaves him. That's usually what happens. And then like now that cool ass girl has moved on with her life and done other shit, and she's like in a happy relationship. And I'm like, you let the good girls that you actually connect with get away because you're so driven just to be with somebody, and like I don't get it. And that's why I'm like, if I ever find a girl and I'm like, okay, this could work. It's gonna be the most kick-ass chick in my mind, in my eye.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I wouldn't fucking be there. right? So
Yeah. And I think that's why it's important to for people to be able to be content being single for a while, because uh, people who cannot, like, there's some people, guys and girls alike, who cannot be single for any period of time,
yeah,
and then the next person that it's just, and to me that's not an appealing person to want any type of relationship with somebody who cannot be content outside of a relationship.
yeah,
That's a red flag.
yeah. And that's my point, is that I've had friends like that in the past where they just can't be. They don't want to be single. They have no interest in being single, and they just keep. They'll date one girl and start doing the whole engagement process again. With, oh my God, fuck, man, and I know they don't like them. They'll even tell me they don't like him. I'm like, then what are you doing? They're like,
But
oh,
they'd rather just not be alone. Yeah. That's
they're just literally like, when you ask them what are they doing, they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't know? And they're just totally okay with it. Adam Russell says, I've been promoted 6 times in less than a year. Once I stopped worrying about getting back to dating, if I date again, it's going to have to be someone who shares my Christian values. No more secular dating. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. The best thing you can do, regardless of your situation or your religion or your interest, is play the freaking field and meet more people that are aligned with your values. Don't just find the first person and be like, oh, I'm marrying you, because chances are, if it's the first person you found, it ain't gonna work out. Like, like my mom told me when I was 17 years old, my first girlfriend broke up. I broke up with my first girlfriend, and then I regretted it. Like a week later, I was like, no, I should have done this. My mom was like, she just said, you just need to play the field. You just need to start dating a new girl and try to find a girl that you like. And that's how I found my wife. And then she left me. So I guess it didn't really work out. Disco Cobra. Never fully believed in all the lovey-dovey movie version of stuff. Almost never happens that way it does in movies. Love at first sight and soulmates, all that junk. Just some people are more compatible than others. Yeah, and I agree to a degree, because that stuff you see in movies where they're like say something over the top and like lovey-dovey and looking in each other's eyes, and there's like candles and it's like really passionate and over the top. That's not real, in my opinion. If something like that's happening, it's forced. When I was in now, and I'm saying from a personal standpoint, when I was in like those situations, we would like fist bump and like joke around, and like being at each other's peace was more the romantic like value. It wasn't like this weird like putting flower petals on a bed thing. That was like not. It doesn't feel real to me. It might to other people, but to me, like leaning down into your girl's eyes.
People are gonna express each other themselves different in that area. I am the type that is of the hopeless romantic frame of thinking, but at the same time there's still a realistic way about it, because there's some people who will try to mimic that or try to create an illusion of that, but it's not actually real and there's no substance to it. But I mean, the fact of the matter is like when it comes to romance movies or things like that just kind of push this idea of like, oh, the one person that was absolutely perfect for them, and then the seas parted, the heavens parted, and a light shine. And like, it just doesn't work like that. At the end of the day, whenever you're going to be with somebody, you got to pick somebody, and it's going to be somebody that you felt like, hey, I want to pick this person and everything about them, even all their flaws. And because when you have this whole concept of, oh, everybody has one soulmate and that is just who they were destined to be with and life will bring them together, and then you expect absolute perfection, and you don't there's no room for, hey, this is a human being that's flawed, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's like when you watch a romantic movie and like there's a guy like passionately looks into this girl's eyes or lady's eyes, and he's like, "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen," and they're like being like giving this spiel in this speech, and she's all like looking at him all longingly and shit. I'm like, that's just not real. And if it was, it would happen once, like maybe early on. I don't know. Fuck.
Girls like the romantic talk. So
bullshit,
just saying, maybe you don't totally. I mean, the way that you're describing how you felt about your ex-wife, though, I mean, that sounded pretty romantic to me. So
yeah,
maybe you're just jaded right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying, motherfucker, is like we would like be each other's piece and like cut up and banter and have a great time.
Right.
And it was never overtly serious like a romantic movie.
Oh, I
like
get you had
me at hello.
I get you. So it's like it's still fun and lighthearted. It's not just super dramatic soap opera. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, because like, and that would, and like I said, if something like that happened, it would be a one-time thing, like an early on maybe thing. But other than that, there's still, because what romantic movies show you is like the first week. Like after 6 years, 8 years with somebody, like those dynamics are, if you can't, that's something you can't do that forever, because eventually it will lose its luster. It's like when you like compliment your wife. Let's say you compliment your wife every single day, like 5 times a day. You're so beautiful, I love you. You're so beautiful, I love you. Eventually she's gonna resent that, because it doesn't feel real. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say something like that to your wife or your girlfriend, like it needs to be more of a rare thing. Now you always treat somebody with respect, and you wouldn't say that every day.
I would not be mad if my future husband told me I was beautiful every day. if that was just a rare thing to hear, I would not be happy. Women, we were very more like audible, like, you know, the guys are super, super visual, and not that girls aren't visual at all, because we are too, but you can get to a girl a lot more by what we hear. That's so to keep the compliments at a super rare.
When I say super rare, don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not saying once a year. I'm saying like every once in a while. You're like, oh damn, and I'm not saying stuff like she puts on an outfit, she gets ready, and like she, you know, oh dude, you look great as hell today. What's up, baby? That's different. But like, like being like every day, like, dude, I've seen my friends text messages to their girls or on Facebook or some shit, and it's like every fucking day they're like, I adore my wife so much, and I've never been more happier with this beautiful woman, and they post a picture with her, and it's like fucking every day, and I'm like, that doesn't
I understand that, like the very just theatrical, like over dramatic, just constantly making these big long posts, and then, you know, behind the scenes are probably fighting like cats and dogs, like I totally I get that.
So that's what I'm saying is like it feels wrong. It just doesn't feel real. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, Disco Cobra. I love you. And if it is that, fuck it. But to me, like, if I had a girl and she was like, you're just so handsome every single day, and I love you. Like in text messages, you're so handsome. I love you. I love you. You're overly and posting pictures of me on Facebook. Oh my god, I love my handsome husband. He's so beautiful. I'd be like, all right, you need to fucking calm down. Like, I don't. This feels like you're doing it for other people and not me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes it is like when it is very sometimes it can be very performative when it's a public thing and they're just constantly making all these big elaborate posts and stuff like that.
And to people in the chat that's like, you've been divorced before, therefore you have no opinions. It's like, yeah, and so is 91% of everybody else. So enjoy. Like everybody, and look, I get it. I was that guy. In the moment when you're married and you're happy, you think that your situation is the best situation and nothing bad will ever happen to you.
Right.
But then you better hope you're the 9% of people that are not separated by only death. Right. Because like that's what happens. Especially if it's like, depending on certain like attributes, it's like fucking 95%, depending on like what attributes you have in divorce. Divorce is extremely high. It's almost like guaranteed, depending on who you are. You know what I'm saying? I have friends that are my age and they've been divorced 5 times now. And they will swear to you up and down on their 6th marriage, 4 months in, they'll be saying the same shit. Oh, my wife would never cheat on me. Oh, we're perfect. Oh my God, your opinion's stupid. You've been divorced before. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're on your 6th marriage, and you think you're in she's nothing bad will ever happen. I know more than anybody else because I'm currently in this situation. It's like, okay, well, I've had people email me before.
Also, it's like last I checked, you didn't start this podcast saying, hey, everybody, pay $5 so we can give you relationship advice, and because we're the experts. Last I checked, we're on a podcast and we're just shooting the crap.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like everybody has opinions, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is, I feel like people that are currently blinded by happiness and in a relationship they consider good, like they have less advice to give because they are not in situations where they've had to avoid certain things. They're in the perfect situation.
Right.
You know?
That's a good point.
Like what advice you to give somebody when your situation has no trauma?
You know, that is so freaking true, because I hate it when people who have had that, like, oh, okay, they find the love of their life when they're like 18, and then they get married happily ever after, and they just have an amazing and strong marriage, and then they want to it's like, okay, good for, I'm very happy they found that, but it's like they got it right the first time. Everything is perfect, everything's amazing. Well, then what kind of advice? You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
good for you, but it doesn't work like that for most people. So it's going to be a lot harder to give advice to people who, when they haven't had to overcome obstacles that they're giving advice about.
I will say that it is kind of admirable. What I'll say about my friends that I've seen get divorced 100 times, it's kind of admirable for them to be like still hopeful. Like, dude, it took one for me, and I was like, bye, I'm out. I'm not doing this shit anymore. It took one because I almost didn't survive that shit. And I'm like, I'm not fucking doing all that again. Fuck that. But I have friends who the fucking did. Yeah, I'm getting divorced 2 weeks later, dating another girl. They're moving in. I'm like, how do you think dude, it's crazy to me. Like, and people were like, oh, when, do you think you'll ever be ready? I'm like, well, it's been, how long has it been now? 7 years? What year is it? It's been almost 8 years? No. No. I'm just not really interested in it. It's, you know, and people were like, yeah, well, one day you'll understand. I'm like, no, I don't, no. Like, I'm not interested in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing is, when people think they're in the perfect situation, they think that nothing can go wrong. And I've seen so many friends get just randomly left, get randomly cheated on. Shit, I had a friend that was getting cheated on for like 2 years.
Wow.
And then he they finally got a divorce, and he found out that she was cheating on him for like 2 years of their like marriage.
Wow.
And he was one of those guys. Like everybody's that guy, right? He was like, oh, she'd never do anything like that. She's great. Like we're so excited about this thing we're doing and this thing we're doing and this thing we're doing. Oh yeah, and they only had sex once every 6 months. Yeah, and I'm like, he told me that too because we were working out one day, and this is years ago now. It's fucking 2018. He was like, yeah, so you know, I'm kind of like just in a bad mood, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, why, dude? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird to talk about. And he's like, but me and so, yeah. It's like, I've never really talked about this, but like we have sex like once every 6 months, maybe. And I'm like, what? And I'm immediately red flag. I'm like, what the fuck you mean?
Wow. Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck you mean? Because, you know, when I like, look, I know, like I've been divorced. I get it. But when I was married, we had sex like every other day, and it never dwindled. It was still going. You know, both of us are changing in size and shape and shit. She's gaining weight, losing weight. I'm gaining weight, losing weight. You know, we're always just still fucking going. And it wasn't like, it was very nice. And which is always why it was weird to me is when she just dipped out one day. Like, like we had sex like the day before. Like,
goodness,
it was great. It was like fucking sweaty, passionate. You know, I love you. Smile. You know, it was great. And then like the next day, it's just so it's wild to me. It never made sense. But this guy told me, and he said like, you know, yeah, we have sex like once every 6 months. And I was like, okay. I was like, so here's what's going on. I'm like, that's not normal. And I was like, either she's got a health problem and she's apparently not telling you about it. Like maybe it's painful for her and she's going through it. But the fact that she hasn't said anything about it is kind of weird. Or you need to divulge that you're, and I'm sure he did. Or B, she having sex with somebody else, bro. And she has another relationship that's on the DL.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. He's like, no, she'd never do that. She would absolutely. She's not the kind of person that would ever do something like that. And I'm like, how sure are you? And I had the same conversation that when I talk about him, I'm like, you think you're in a great situation, and you think your girl or your guy would never ever do anything like that. But 71% of men, 68% of women, 85% of divorce. Like the chance is fucking high. Like you're probably not that person. Right. And he was like, no, he's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I just don't think like she's not like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Fast forward a year and a half. I don't remember when, but yeah, she got a divorce. Like he lost his job. They got a divorce. And she moved in with her dude that she's been fucking for like 2 years. And then he found out about it because she like when things break down, women get really mean for some reason. My ex-wife did it too, but she, you know, as far as I know, never cheated on me. But like, yeah, she told him that, yeah, she'd been dating him for like 2 years. And like literally the day she left him, she went and moved in with her dude that she'd been like the day she like went to him. And now she posts like pictures with him and her like on fucking Instagram. And I'm like, dude, she was having sex with him for like 2 years, man.
Wow.
And he's like, nah, she'd never do that. And it's kind of hard to like almost have an outer body experience and try to look at shit from the outside.
Right.
You think you know this person is the greatest person. They would never hurt you in this way. They would never do anything like that. And then you come to find out, there you go. That fucking happened. It fucking happened. And that's not saying that it will always happen to you. It's not what I'm saying at all. And I'm not saying you should suspect your significant other of anything like that. You should trust them. But when when a red flag pops up, like,
notice it and address it. Yes.
That's it. Have the conversation. I think that's the most important thing as I get older and more emotionally mature is if you have any gripe in your head, sit the person down and have a conversation, because you could probably fix it in fucking 2 seconds.
Right.
People will dwell on it and anxiety and stress over it for months, and it makes them resent that person, and they get pissed, and everything gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Just fucking sit them down and talk about it immediately. And it's probably something real simple, right? Just don't let shit lie. Trad Beardsman says, I'm more jacked, making more money, and in a better emotional spot. She got big. That's how that works, Trad. That's that. I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of how that works. Hercules, I've been burned by my exes that I don't want kids. I want to be married. Can't trust anyway. To be honest, I'm doing better now. I'm on house. This always happens. See, Hercules, same super chat 2 times in a row. Monkey Man, what's up, dude? Love you, dude. Disco Cobra. Oh, by the way, we're $100 from Fight Milk. Disco Cobra,
let's go.
Yeah, it's fucking close. I'm surprised. It says Disco Cobra says, I've been moving back in the direction of Christian living for the past month and a half, give or take. Been eliminating things as I go that are unchristian-like. I'm still dealing with masturbation and vaping. A bit of a struggle. Masturbation, dude. Now I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of a rare thing for me.
That's debatable in the Christian that's debated in the Christian community too, on whether or not that's a sin, because it's not like directly mentioned in the Bible, but you can argue and talk about lust, and it depends on what they're doing. Like, are they watching porn and this sort of that and the other. So yeah. But what I would encourage for you, Cobra, just if you read, just tell yourself 1 chapter of the Bible a day. Read 1 chapter of the Bible a day. Do not let any exceptions happen. I don't care if it's 6 a.m. and you ain't went to bed yet. Get that chapter of the Bible in, and you'll find that your faith is going to grow so strong, and then you're going to be more in tune spiritually. And yeah, that's
my favorite part of the stream so far. Thank you, Disco Cobra. He's like, I've been dealing with things that are unchristian, like masturbating, and you're like, it's not really mentioned. And I'm like,
I'm just saying, this debate in the community. I'm not saying it's necessarily. I can say, just from my own point, I don't know if it's a sin or not. So I'm not going to act like I'm that authority on that. I'm not going to, because it isn't directly addressed in the Bible. So pray about it. Ask God to show you and convict you if that's the case. Like, if you start to feel conviction, there's certain things that are very direct in the Bible, but for the things that aren't, hey, if you're reading your Bible every day, you're going to be very spiritually in tune. So you'll have more conviction.
Thank you, Johan Noxos. Says, if it blazes for 7 days yet continues to exist on a mortal plane, never trust it. Yeah, it's one of my favorite sayings from my dad. Doesn't the Bible say avoid the appearance of evil? I don't even know what that means.
It does, yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, I'm putting on a spot right here. I don't like if something. I don't know. I honestly. I'm curious to see what someone in chat says. But I don't really have
if you see a girl with fat turd cutters, do not follow her down the path of evil. Is that what they're saying? I don't know, man.
I'd have to read that again in full context, and then but if something appears to be wrong, or if you feel conviction about something, or if something is, your discernment is triggered off something, avoid it. I mean, that's my first impression. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. There we go. Well said, Wobo. Boa.
Oh, but what if it feels right? Woo! Like,
that's the thing, is you know, like, and when you say if it doesn't feel right in your spirit, because like I said earlier, like the whole you can't just follow just your flesh. So spiritually, does it feel wrong? Then don't do it.
Oh, Drunk 3PO says, I pray for you all the time, Cam. I know God has something special for you. It better be a Ferrari F430. I'll take
there we go, Jake. Well said. Said. Keep praying for him.
Oh my gosh. Disco Cobra says, I've always had issues with lust most of life. Started 13 masturbation. Did you start that late? What's up, dude? It's so heavily ingrained in my system that it's hard for a break. I don't watch porn, just general lust for women. Dude, I think, I'm gonna be honest, it'd be almost impossible. Like, if you didn't actively have sex, like have sex with like women, like on a weekly basis, dude, there are dudes that are sexless, and it like drives them to extremes.
Well, my My take on this whole thing, or can you pull that up for a second? I'm losing my train of
sorry.
thought. Okay. Oh yeah. So I don't know why I'm just like I totally lost my point I was gonna say. Oh, but don't feel bad that you have the desire to feel lust. Okay. Don't feel bad that your body has sexual feelings. Don't let that make you feel guilty that that's inherently there, because that's how God created us. Most people have that inherent feeling, and like even the Bible says, and I know like Paul had written that burning desire, find a wife so that you can relieve that.
Yeah.
So yes, it is there is nothing wrong with you having those feelings, so don't think that that's wrong. It's just what you do with it. I know it's tough, but find yourself a wife.
You find her, just dump loads, bro. Mostly gluten, says Melonie, saying maybe don't somebody find Jesus sound like so much like a threat
You'll find Jesus one day.
in the form of an axe to your face. Noah Sanders says that sounds like my ex-brother-in-law. He would listen to Pornhub while playing Call of Duty at the same time. He was talking about
Oh my
you
gosh.
would listen to Pornhub? How does one, you just hear it? Does that what? I don't understand why that would be fun to hear. You know, I don't know, that wouldn't jazz me up when I'm trying to kill things. You know, it sounds kind of like he's a psycho. You know, I blame the site game winners for having hookup website pops ups, innocent kids looking for cheat codes in 3rd grade getting corrupted. Dude, that's for damn sure. I remember that shit. Dude, that's the old hentai sites. When I would go to the hentai, they would have like just like meet a girl in your town today, bro. I'm like, really? Single? Fire PA. If you want to read an amazing biblical story of love over lust, angels and demons, and the natures of God's healing grace, read Tobit. The hell's Tobit? Fire PA.
Tobit. Let's see.
Map Dick says, Mel, have pity on the sinner. Coach. Thank you, Map Dick. Yeah, I'm definitely the
Well, like that's one thing that's fun about being like on your show and stuff, is that I can just straight up say to your face, like something that you do, you talk about, and you'll just be like, "Oh, is that a sin?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and then you're just like, "Oh, okay." And I like that, because there are so many people who get so defensive, and they don't even claim to be Christians. And it's like, then why do you care that I believe what you're doing is a sin if you're not even a Christian? And so it's just incredibly refreshing to talk to somebody who, you know, you say you're not a Christian, but you are we're still friends, and I can think you're living a sinful lifestyle. We could still be friends, because you don't need me to validate your everything you do. And I like that, to be able to have friends like that, because it's just like, it's so frustrating in my life as a Christian. Dude, so many of my friends don't approve of my life, don't approve of my Christian lifestyle. They think it's stupid, but I can still be their friend because I don't need their validation in my life. So
yeah, and dude, I see that shit. So like, look, I'm not a Christian, and I'll be upfront with you. I think of most every religion, but like, you know, I was around Christianity my whole life. I grew up in Alabama, and I, to be honest, thought and still kind of think it's silly to this day. But that doesn't mean like I won't listen to what you have to say, or I would never fucking be like, you dumb it. I would never. Like, I think you're cool as fuck. And that's just, people live their lives in different ways, and they have different opinions, different beliefs. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'll see people that will find out like, oh, well, I'm not Christian, and they'll be like, yeah, Christians are stupid. They're so stupid. I can't even be around Christians. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? No, what? Like, you just don't like them because of this? Like, there's plenty of reasons to not like a person, and for their belief structure is, unless it hurts people, you know, and it's not the Dark Ages anymore.
Right.
You know, they ain't no holy war anymore. Not here anyway, right? Unless you consider like politics or religion, which I feel like I do now. Tomorrow Lad says, the main problem with porn is the modern format, endless, instant novelty makes it far more addictive. Now I'm going to be honest, Tomorrow Lad, I don't understand, and this is because I'm not that guy, but I don't understand the addiction thing. That's so weird to me. Like, people just get addicted to that shit, and they just sit there like all day. Like, it's so weird to me. Like, you know, I see it. If it's that time, and now I got my candles and shit, and I'm relaxing, and it's time to pull up and see like the website that I like has a new video, you know, and it's like a spicy one, you know, like. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, you know, it's over. And then I go on about my business, and I don't think, that's like months and in between. Like, and I just can't believe there's some people that fucking, and now granted, I would say that, you know, back to what Cobra said, you know, like he's, you know, fighting this, and it's you said find a wife. And so I think somebody else in the chat said we don't have another option. And like I'm thinking to myself, I have a different opinion because I casually hook up with girls all the time. You know, maybe less now than I did when I was 27. Tinder is wild, but like now it's like, you know, every once a week, you know, twice a week, I'll hang out with this girl I know, or this girl I know, or whatever. And I don't have that, like, because you put shit on a pedestal when you don't have it. Like I know guys that will like they're obsessed. They obsess over women because they don't have a woman's touch like often, so it like becomes way more important to them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the issue is like, I don't understand how people get addicted to it, but if it's their only option and like, that's how they get all their affection out is for somehow through a screen, you know?
I almost feel like it's an endless black hole though, because if people get to a point to where I think that's one reason why they're so addicted and why they continue, because it's just like, they're never satisfied, but that will never truly satisfy them. So it's an endless loop.
Yeah. I get it. I hear you, but as a normal person, they had no interest. Semi-pro, they only wanted the status. They only want the damn status. That sounds like a lot of things, Mitchell. Blacklisted with 800 yen says marriage is the best. We dated for 6 months, got married, have 2 kids, been together happily for 8 years. Amazing. We are together
Congratulations.
all day, every day. Yeah, that's great. It's good to hear. I feel like the 7-year itch is like the big one, and that's when I got divorced in the 7th year. Trad Beersman said she was my wife. She also changed her mind 5 years in about. Oh, dude, same shit happened to me. That's weird, actually. That's something I just remembered from this super chat right here.
Right.
Said right here. It said she changed her mind about having kids. Yeah. So my ex-wife told me she wanted to have kids like year 6. She's like, I'm kind of thinking, and she would make jokes. She like, we should both just have a baby, I guess. We should just have it. She'd make jokes like that. And then like 6 months, 8 months later, I said something like that because I kind of started thinking the same way, I guess. And I said something about that, and she like literally audibly laughed, and she's like, no, that's never happening. And I was like, what? I thought you said you did. I'm confused, like out of nowhere. And I didn't really think about that until just now. It's weird. Thank you, Trad Beardsman. Johan, not so. You think a year is a long time? Oh, Camelot, have a seat, son. Let me tell you a story about how just bad things get really. Johan, I'll take my drawers off. Come on, let's do this. Noah Sanders says, I would say that Noah and Ali in The Notebook felt more real than a good handful of movies due to how persistent Noah was, and it shows them in old age. I've never watched The Notebook.
I haven't either.
Man, that's what we'll do. I'm going to come to Dallas. We're watch The Notebook. And we're gonna see what the grap's about. Thank you, Noah Sanders. I appreciate you, dude. Mitchell Field says Camelot equals fight milk. Mac equals the meat diet guru. Thanks both. Mac, a pink lot in the back will go good with a purple and a yellow one.
Oh, nice. How's the echo? Yeah, the echo's. But I people are like, why is your door open all the time? If I close the door, the echo is unreal.
Oh, yeah. So I have like styrofoam everywhere. Like, you know,
I need to do something like that.
Studio foam everywhere, and then you have a hard floor.
Yep.
You have a rug?
Yeah, I have this rug here.
That's probably helping a lot too.
Yeah.
You get a rug. I have carpet, but get a fucking rug and then start do my. So I built a music studio in my house. And it's downstairs, and it's old fashioned hardwood floor. Like a real hardwood floor, and it's like mirror shine. It's great. And I have a giant room that I made a music studio, and I would go in there and I have my guitar in there. And when I first set it up, it was just like bare walls, bare floor, and a couch, and like my computer and my amps and shit. And you couldn't even play guitar in there. It sounded like a wall of sound noise everywhere. So I put a rug down, a big ass rug, and then I put studio foam all the way across every wall. And I got posters up, and I got just all this shit, and now it's perfect. So yeah,
nice.
Okay. You can get that shit for nothing, dude. You can get it for like $100. You can get like a 50 of them, 50 squares, 100 squares. I don't fucking know. But it works for sure. Speaking of it works, mostly gluten. $100 super chat. Oh my god! Can you believe this shit? My man gets us to technically we're like $1.50 away from fight milk, but we'll call it mostly gluten. Dude, I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your love and your kindness on this goofy ass small channel. I don't deserve your love, and I appreciate you. Mostly Gluten is goated. Give him a whack. Thank you. I'm gonna keep it over here on the sidebar for later. Let's cover Andrew. Rob says it does mention it in the Bible that it's sinful to masturbate. Genesis 38:8-10.
Dude, let me explain that. Onan was not smited for masturbation. This is the story with Onan. Onan's brother's wife, okay? Onan's brother died. Onan had, and so then due to like the culture, his brother's wife, he was supposed to essentially marry her and give her a family, all that kind of stuff. So he was like, all right, let's what do you call it when you make the marriage official by having sex? Consummate. They're like, let's consummate this marriage type situation. So Onan starts having sex with this woman under the context of I will be your husband now. And so he started having sex with her and pulled out before he, obviously finished. Yeah. And so because he actually was not going to commit to her, and that was the whole purpose of them being together. And so God smited him because he used that woman. So that was not that, because some people think, because he spilled his seed and his seed did not. It was because he did not fulfill his obligation and the contact. He essentially, that's pretty much grape. That was not their arrangement, and God smited him for that result.
God smited him for pulling out.
Not for just the act of pulling out, but for not honoring what they had agreed to and essentially using her when he was supposed to step up as her husband.
That's like God smiting for pulling out. That's pretty based. Sounds like something I would be. I'd be like, smite. How dare you? You're supposed to commit smite. Yeah, you pull up. Green pie ass. All right, thank you, Andrew. Hey, K Huck says Camelot. Hello, how you doing, baby? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate your super chat. So, damn, we see it's already been 3 hours and it feels like it's not been. That's weird. This is why you're a great guest, because we can just go forever, and I don't even realize we're going forever. We're gonna do some stuff, and then we'll get the hell off here. We did hit Fight Milk, but we are 130 likes away from the goal, boys. So you guys on it. Got to like the stream right now. Stop being a bitch, and then we're gonna do. We'll do Fight Milk immediately. I hope I have. I had eggs, but they floated away. For some reason, feel like I remember my maid holding my eggs and being like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Nah." And then she was like, and then she walked away, and I'm like, "Wait, what you doing with my eggs?" I don't remember. I was doing something earlier. I was like typing, and she was saying shit. Thank you, by the way. Love this man. Look at this band right here. Mostly gluten.
Hey.
Let me go up and find the other boy, because Raider and Disco Cobra going ham as balls. Andrew, Raider. Look at all these delicious men. And then Chad Sharp. Look at this man right here. You're such a man. I appreciate you, dude. All right. I am going. You can go. Do you have your stuff?
Yeah. So what is it? How many eggs? 1 or 2?
2 eggs.
2 eggs and just milk. All right. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Get on it, doggone it. She just walked away. Look at her. She walked right away. Didn't turn her camera off. Yeah. Anyways. Thank you, Lacey. I appreciate you, petite. Thank you, Lacey. I appreciate you, baby. And wait, why is it not popping up? I see one. It's Johnny's. He's my man. I appreciate you. Let's do Naked Snake. Wait, where's my bandana? I lost it when I was drunk the other day. Hold on. Let me find my bandana. There it is. No, that's a sock. Where's my bandana? Man, I lost that shit. Is that it? I found it. Hold on. It's time, boys. We're going to do Naked Snake. I thought Melonie changed for a second. I was like, what the fuck? She wears something different? We're going to do Naked Snake, and then I'm going to go get my eggs. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. God, my titties are so sore, bro. I did chest today, and I'm broken. I'm going to do Naked Snake, and then I'm going to go get my stuff. Then we're going to go ham. Have a glass.
Alrighty.
So you can just watch me do Naked Snake. All
okay.
awkward. It's going to be fun. What the hell is that?
The milk, guys. It's in a jar. It's in a pickle jar.
Pickle jar.
This is a farm fresh, unpasteurized milk too, and farm fresh eggs.
Hopefully my chest looks good for you guys today. I did do chest really, really heavy, and I can barely freaking lift my arms. So let's do this shit. Time for Naked Snake.
A lot of milk.
Is this like unbreaded? Yes. Here we go. And then we'll do fight milk. Let's see how many people leave. Because it's time, boys, for the 167th Naked Snake in a row. Ooh, it's so juicy looking. Here we go, boys. Naked Snake first, and then we're doing fight milk.
Oh, you're doing the Naked Snake.
Yeah, so you got about 3 minutes.
Okay.
So you're good. But you get to awkwardly watch me do this. It'd be great.
Sure.
I don't think I did this last time because it was like early on in the show's history, and I was like, I don't know what to do. You guys ready? Sonya, get them locks in, boys. We're almost at 1,000. I appreciate you, Rudy Toot. I see you in there. I'm gonna take my headset off for a second. I won't be able to hear anything, so I can get my bandana on. So let's go. She looks so disappointed.
With darkness and silence through the night, what of me? I'm searching and I'm melting to you.
All right, boys. 167. Get them locks up, bitches. We're going. Oh, yeah. 167, boys. Can you believe this shit? Can you believe we've done this 167 times in a row? Damn, son. Amazing. In honor of the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. It's going to be amazing because I still feel I'm still in a dream, boys. Snake Eater. Amazing. Jessica, I see you. Oh, my God. Here it is. Best part. Like Terry Crews. Don't do that, real. Thank you, Rudy Toot. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Jessica's hot. I agree. Thank you guys so much. We got Jesus Davila. Here's the Naked Snake boys today. Rudy Toot. Jessica Reloaded with the money and the cum drops. Appreciate you. And then Rudy Toot. You guys are so goated. 167 times in a row. 3 away from 170. Thank you guys. Couldn't have done it without you. Pretty blown away, I'm gonna be honest. We're gonna get the last titty jiggle. Melonie's so uncomfortable. That's the whole point. I did it in front of Pippa, and she's a cartoon, and I couldn't tell what her. It was her just eyes were big on the whole time. She was like the cartoon was.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. The last one, and then we're gonna do some fight milk. Oh my God, boys! Thank you, Arch Spartan. Is this a sin? I don't think so. Thank you, guys. Here we go. Thank you, Sonya. Here we go. Amazing. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. This isn't softcore. You can't even see my nipples. I do have nice nipples though. They're really small. I like small nipples. When they're like this big, I'm like, ooh. Why's that shit like as big as a damn pepperoni? Like a salami. Dude, no shit. I was hanging out with this girl, and she looked perfect. I was like, damn, she's so good. So obviously, I'm like, man, I can't wait for her to take her clothes off. She had like this nice fat boobie, and then it was like all like areola. I'm like, how does this happen? Because dude, if there's one thing that's off, I'm like, fuck, now I don't want to do this anymore. It's all got to be perfect, and it just wasn't. Because you expect them to be nice, tiny little nipples, a perky. No, it was just like the boobie, and then there was just an areola. It's like the whole tit was an areola. I'm like, how does this happen? You get the bitch, get that cut off. Xander says, Melody, happy hearing you using scripture and taking it seriously. Most of you viewers here are hurt by Christianity or just hate it without understanding it. Glad to hear someone like you out there.
Thank you, Xander.
Hell yeah, Xander. Mostly gluten says, as a farmer, tip for Melonie, using farm fresh.
Yeah.
I just use Fairlife because they beat their calves and it tastes really good. I don't know why. I didn't know you could kick a calf and it made their milk tasty, but whatever. Capsaicin. Damn, I love that name, dude. Lord Narco Wookie, welcome back, dude. All right, dude, I'm gonna go get my milk shit, and then we're doing some fight milk. I need you guys to get hyped in the chat. Need you guys to go ahead and tell everybody where they can follow you, Melonie, while I'm going to get the things.
All righty. So you guys can follow me on YouTube at Melonie Mac Go Boom, or you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, if you still use that, at Melonie Mac. And then I'm gonna have my streams back sometime next month. So usually I was streaming on Twitch under Melonie Mac, but I'm gonna try streaming on Kick when I do my next stream. So we'll see about that. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any questions here. Dude, everybody just going off about that naked snake challenge. Oh my gosh. Have fun with the fight milk. I look forward to it. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see. Yeah, see, you see there are eggs right here. I just wanted to make sure you all knew the eggs are here. Here, right, yeah. Baby chickens. Yes, baby chickens. Billy says I just use Twitch because I prefer Twitch. Someone asked, did you get banned from Twitch? No, I didn't, but it's just like Twitch takes 50% of the revenue and Kick takes way less. Also, Twitch is just stupid woke. And I'm like, I am totally happy to try another platform that, yeah. So we'll see.
Yes. When I streamed on Twitch, I like blew all the water, like all the like metrics out of the water to get partner, just out of the water. And they denied my partner within like 7 minutes of me applying. So I was like, yep. And I just I got off of it.
Then you're done.
Yeah, I tweeted about it. I was like, yeah, Twitch can eat my asshole. And the head of Rumble Gaming jumped in my DMs immediately. He was like, bro, come to Rumble. And Rumble's been awesome. Like, shit, I got 12,000 followers on Rumble in like that.
Man.
And it's always just doing really well. So Rumble's the way. And I've made more on Rumble than I would ever have made on Twitch.
Yeah.
So, and it's, still growing. So it's awesome. Anyways, and they were able to just help me. And the actual people working there were trying to help me. It wasn't just, Twitch is like, you have to be part of the club to even kind of talk to anyone.
Right. Exactly.
Even if you shit, there's probably Twitch people that have millions of followers and they still can't even talk to a person.
Yeah.
So that's just, it's gross. I don't like it. All right. I'm out of breath because I ran up the stairs and I stepped on a thumbtack and it like went into the heel of my foot. It's one of those little flat ones, little thumbtack. Just went into my heel and I was like, ooh. And I tried to, and it hurt and I tried to scrape it off and I couldn't. So I just kept walking all the way up here and just pulled it out. Just now.
Just kept it in your foot.
I'm like, well, I'm going upstairs and I had eggs and shit in my hand. I can't do it. So I just let it stay in my foot. All right. Today, guys, thank you, Rob, by the way, to Rob, Holy Ozone. Today we are using Maker's Mark. Going to be delicious. It's frosted, freshly frosted Makers. And that's what we'll be using today. And the fight milk. Let me pour. Now, these eggs were sitting in my room for 2 months, not in the fridge. So I'm sure they're fine. They're eggs. They can do that, right?
It's something like that.
Yeah, it'll be all right. They're all like frozen. Hold on. They're all like stuck to the bottom. They won't come out.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. I got one. There we go. Got them. So I don't know. I guess you wouldn't be able to smell an egg, right? All right, here we go. It's fine. Hey, by the way, guys, 80 likes from goal. You best get on it, doggone it. We're closing.
Come on.
We're closing in right now. Mermaid Messiah says I'm drinking that right now. Well, hell yeah, baby. What's up? Don't get too drunk to where you crawl my DMs. Definitely don't do that. You do it. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. All right, here we go. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Tetanus in the tetanus. You say tetanus? What the tetanus, bro? What are you talking about? You're gonna get tetanus, bro. From what? Oh, from the tack. Oh, see, I already lost my train of thought. I thought he was talking about from the eggs.
I did too. I was confused.
Goodness. What the hell? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mermaid says DMs. What do you mean DMs question mark? What do you mean DMs question mark? How old are you? AOL is the messenger. It's like that. Remember that? The biddly-boo. It's like that. What's it? Oh, yeah. She asked me how old I was. 33. I said 20. I said 27. And she's like, what do you mean 27? How old are you? And I'm like, 33. As long, it wasn't, I'm old. You know? I'm old as sin. But not as old as Melonie.
This is true.
Yeah, that's right. I win. Thank God. But you look way younger than me. It's all that praying to Jesus.
That's right.
Like, man, I need to get them Botox. It's like, why don't you just pray to Jesus?
There you go.
I have no wrinkles. How'd that happen? Jesus. Yeah. Anyway, if that was actually how it was, bro, I'd be like, I want bigger pecs and I want a better defined abs. Thank you. Praise Jesus. That'd be cool, but it's not like that. Damn it. Come on. All right, here we go. Now the makers in the egg juice.
Oh.
One of them pop or something?
The egg popped.
You know, it's supposed to be kind of like a whole little deal.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. That'll probably be fun. All right, here we go. Whiskey, Maker's Mark for the first time ever in the Fight Milk. Let's go. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I wish I had some makers, bro. Get some. What do you live in a place where you can't buy makers? Come on, get it on there. I just don't have social media. How old are you, Mermaid? What do you mean you don't have social media? What is this? 1994? All right, here we go. Where is it at? Which one is it? Fuck, it's been so long since I did Fight Milk. This one? Yes, that's it. Okay. I forgot which ones. What is a DM? What? I ain't talking to you anymore. I don't want you to message me anymore. I'm afraid. What's a DM, dude? I'm just fucking with you, my mate. We're just having a good time. I love you. All right, here we go, boys. Fight Milk going down the gullet. She got way more milk than she probably should have.
I poured way too much milk. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, dude. Here we go, boys. Everyone that knows me knows what? Thank you guys so much for the successful show today. You guys are goated. You're beautiful. All your penises are massive. Thank you guys so much for helping me get to Fight Milk. And thanks so much for Melonie joining me on short notice today. Easily one of the best shows again. Appreciate that. Let's see how she does with the Fight Milk. Get the hell on the nug on it. Preach to you guys. Lock the damn stream. You ready, Melonie?
Yeah.
All right. Get on it, doggone it. Oh! You got too much milk! You're almost there! You're almost there! Don't throw up! You're good. Easy.
Way too much milk.
Yeah, dude, you like have it's a pickle jar and you filled it up like halfway.
I don't know what I was thinking. I really don't.
Oh my God.
Everywhere.
I'm just using old Jim's sock to get my milk off. Hold on. There we go. Much better. Whew. You committed. I'm proud of you.
I did it.
Good. Yeah. Oh my God. My old roommate did Fight Milk one time, long time ago, and it's like a GIF on Google, and it was like she made a goofy, like ooh, like Belle Delphine face.
Yeah.
You know, when that was back in the day, and she's got her tongue out, and there's literally milk like in the GIF, like freeze frame, dripping off her tongue. And it looks so sexual. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It's probably on Google right now. Hold on. Let me see if it's not. I'll put it up, but let's see if it's there. I like how it says badger milk. No, there's just pictures of just me and her when we did shows together back in the day. I guess I'll just type in. Let's see if that pulls up. Probably nothing. I love how it's pictures of her from like 10 years ago. It's hilarious. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, that's sad. Did she scrub the internet? Did she really scrub the internet?
Oh, she's like, nope, bye.
I took like half of these pictures of her. Yeah, a lot of them are kind of recent, actually. Oh my god! There's one. Oh Jesus! There's one picture. Oh God, no! Oh no! What is this? You got to see something. Hold on, real quick. Look at this. What is this? Do you see this?
Oh my goodness, a furry.
That's a tall, wide, muscular looking furry.
Wow.
On the tiny badger page. That's it. There's no context. No context needed. There you go.
Okay.
Big old furry. All right, boys. I love you guys. I appreciate you. We're 70 likes away, damn it. What are you guys doing? Like,
come on.
I'm tired of this bullshit. After everything I did. Oh, well, let me read the rumbles. There's only a couple. Dual Helix says 12 ginger sandwich. I don't know what that means. Bruce from Cobra Tate says, I require cock, Camel. Put your cock in my sandwich. I want your cock. Thank you. I appreciate that. What the fuck? And Alec says, I've been to about 20 countries, and the shit about America being a racist country is such garbage. Never felt more welcome in a country than USA. You don't know how bad it is outside the US. Well, that's because that's just what they hear. And then they...
Right.
I saw I think it was a black lady, maybe. It might have been a white lady. But that's what her thing was. That was her shtick, is like, America's the most racist country ever. And she went to Japan. And she was going, one of her friends tried to take her to a club, and it was a Japanese only club.
Oh,
no foreigners allowed. And she saw the sign on the door, and they were like, yeah, you can't come in. You're whatever. You're not Japanese. Right. She called the police. And the police come to this establishment, and she's like, they won't let me in. They're being racist. And the police literally looked at the sign and looked back at her and said, it says no foreigners. You're not Japanese. And she was like, but that's racist. And they're like, no, that's the rule. They can't even fathom what she's talking about. They're like, no, you have to be Japanese. And she's like, but that's racist. And they're like, no, you have to be Japanese. It was hilarious. She's like, you can what? Yeah, imagine going to a club.
It's just like that the Japanese people are like in Lord of the Rings, you have no power here.
Yeah, and it's like, imagine going somewhere in America and it says, sorry, only Asians allowed in America. It would be a fucking uproar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Sonia says, Melonie, I saw your post about fire ants. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I feel great. The fire ant bites, they've turned the kind of purplish, but but they don't itch anymore. That it's purplish. The healing, and it for some reason they were red and itchy, and then now they're just like flat and a little purpley, but they're going away.
Man, I was fixing my pool pump, and I don't know what it is, but I was standing there. It's like a cement pad with all my pool stuff on it.
Yeah.
And I was like working on it, and I was like, just for like 5 minutes trying to prime the pump. And I feel like stuff all over me. And I look down, and like there's just a billion ants, and they were like all over my feet. And I look down at them, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are just making themselves home on my feet. Now, granted, they were just like little black ants.
So they weren't like fire ant. Okay.
Yeah, they don't bite you or anything. And they're just crawling around on me. And I had to dip my feet in the pool and like shook it off. And you just see ant bodies go everywhere. Like,
wow.
Why are you just crawling on me, bro? Jesus, you stop sending super chats. I'm trying to leave, you bitches. Samantha says, have you been standing this whole time, Melonie? She has.
Yes, I have.
Standing desk. Yeah. Is this how all your videos are gonna be made now?
Yeah. I mean, I can lower the desk if I want, but I don't know. I've just been liking the standing desk. I think it's been great. Yeah,
I actually considered it once because I have a desk in my music studio that goes up really high. It's basically made for that, but this one's like a big L shape like this. But I've been thinking about. I used to consider it because I work from home exclusively, and I feel like I never get any kind of activity except for going to the gym. And I'm like, man, it'd probably be good for me to work content standing up. But I like sitting here, man. I just love sitting here. So good. Don't forget to follow Camelot 331 on Rumble and Locals. Thank you so much, Sonia. I appreciate you so much for being so good. We are 30 likes away. Let's find the boy tonight. Here we go. Oh, what is up with the DSP thing, boys? I guess we will post Kings is on. Actually, let me 1 second. Let me see. I'm gonna see if there's a VTuber live. Feud with VTubers right now. I love how all my clip. I have a clip channel, right?
Mhm.
And of course, all my clips that involve Pippa are just nuclear on that channel.
Oh wow,
It's like actually growing the channel is just a stupid Pippa.
that's
Pippa stuff.
amazing.
Makes me laugh. I'm like, God damn it, why you guys not like me for me? You only want to see Pippa. Which now did no one from even her company are allowed to come on a show. It's sad.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't see anybody, man. We might. I think we'll do Nina. I think we're gonna do Nina. Raid Pippa.
yeah,
Is Pippa live? Pippa's not live. I've hold on. Live? No, she's not live. If she was, I'd definitely rate her. It'd be hilarious. No, she's not live. She doesn't go live until tomorrow at 8. But yeah, we're gonna raid Nina Infinity because I love Nina. Don't tell me to stop sending super chats, damn you, mostly gluten. How dare you? How dare you thwart, disobey me? Hot diggity damn. Thank you, mostly gluten. I love you. Appreciate you. Get the hell on it, dog on it. I'll see you guys over on Nina's stream. Make sure you liked us on the way out. 25 likes away. I appreciate you guys so much. Hell yeah. Thank you, by the way, Melonie, for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
Yeah, dude, it's been a kick-ass show. Thank you.
That's
Awesome.
fun.
All right, boys. Get the hell on it, dog on it. Love you guys. Bye.